And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from beautiful Braemar Arena in lovely Edina, Minnesota. The superlatives flying for some great high school hockey. It's the second of two Section 2AA semifinal round matchups. The first one featured the Eden Prairie Eagles just absolutely demolishing Chaska by a score of 7-3. Tonight, the nightcap is going to feature the Minnetonka Skippers and the Fire of Holy Family Catholic. The winner of this one moves on to play at Mariucci Arena, 6 o'clock on Wednesday night against the Eagles. And Bart, you know what? This Minnetonka team has been well talked about. Sean Goldsworthy's club is 21-2-3 on the season. They have suffered some losses and ties along the way toward the close of the campaign. So for them, you know, it hasn't been all peaches and cream here at the end of the season.
No, but we've talked about this before, but facing a little adversity is not a bad thing for Minnetonka, especially going into sections. But I have a feeling this Minnetonka team's going to be good to go from this point
Bailey
forward.
Huber is going to get the start and goal on defense. It's going to be Nikolai Charchenko and Michael Spinner. Up front, it's going to be Trey Fetchko. He'll be joined by Lucas Jorgensen and number 13, Garrett Pinonimi. Head coach, of course, is Noel Ron.
Well, that's a quintet that's very talented. They can finish plays. It's going to come down to Bailey Huber tonight. He's going to have to play his best game, I feel.
Are we going to have the slow walk-up by Teddy Lagerbach?
I hope so.
With the full sprint for the Skippers. So usually we'll get the sprint up to the line with some snow. Here comes Charlie Glockner going with a very casual approach. He's been good, Bart.
He's been bell-to-bell, 1.40 goals against average and a .937 save percentage with 4 shutouts on the year.
Brimsec finalist, Doctor. Okay, here comes Litke, full speed to the line. Boom! There goes the snow. Beautiful. Streeter now is going to go more casual.
A little casual.
Jack Bayless. And then now, is it Teddy? No. There he goes with the slow 1 stride, 2 stride, 3, and casually to the line he goes. You can't make this stuff up. We're going to pause for your national anthem. We're going to face it off here in a matter of no time. Well, Bart, I guess I had you turned down, but there go the headsets. That was the wrong one.
Oh, how about that? I tried to be as calm as possible, but we're kind of excited, Pete. We've been waiting for this one for a couple hours now. We're just about ready to get underway.
You know, the first tilt was over with what, about 5 o'clock?
Yeah, exactly 5 o'clock.
But we've had some scores out there. Edina had to work hard to get past the Blake Bears by a score of 4-2. They're going to be taking on the Medill St. Margaret's Red Knights, who are 3-2 winners. This is 6AA action for you. 3-2 winners over Wayzata with a late goal in their third period. So there's been some really good hockey out there. Been really thoroughly impressed with the Eden Prairie Eagles and their run up here today. I mean, it's been really good.
Well, they showed up ready to play. It was Eden Prairie that really came out with a lot of energy, and they were able to sustain it. And I just don't think that Chaska could kind of keep pace with them. And I think Holy Family is going to have the same challenge tonight. Minnetonka is going to come out They're going to try to establish their game, but I have a feeling that this Minnetonka team is going to work very, very hard, and it's going to cause some problems for Holy Family in their own zone. If Holy Family can master their own zone or at least have some success getting the puck out efficiently, that's going to bode very, very well for them. But I have a feeling Minnetonka is going to come out with some energy. In fact, their game against New Prague, they scored 3 goals in the first 3 minutes of the first period and then 2 goals within the first 2 minutes of the second period to take a commanding 5-0 lead. So the first 5 minutes, very important for this Holy Family Fire team.
Glad we're underway here as it's going to be Charchenko across center, plays that one in behind. It's going to be the Fire in their black, white, and green sweaters and pants and socks in on goal as Glockner steers that to his left. The Skippers in their white unis with blue trim, very simple look there, love it, traditional, classical. And it's going to be the Fire moving from right to left across your dial. Off the skate of Bayless. Now Doctor steps up, plays this one in wide of Huber. Now it's going to be Charchenko. He's brought down on the play by Lagerback. Pinonimi jammed on the play by Streeter. That's off the stick of Doctor. The big frame now of Jorgensen to the corner. Jorgensen's checked on the play as Doctor fishes it over for Litke back in behind the net. A couple of Mr. Hockey finalists on the Skipper edition on the back line that play together. Now it's Doctor with it. Across the line. There's a couple of them here in the finalist realm. You've got Jungles and Nevers, of course, from Edina. They've been side by side all year long as well. Now it's going to be Newhouse across the line as he's watched by Spinner, and back up ice they go. To the right wing side again on the stick of Roloffs, who's going to play this one in wide of the mark. Zitzlaff is there as there's some tempo and pace here and purpose. There's a shot in on goal by Dan Redden, steered aside by Glockner. Tempo and purpose here. And now back up through center ice it goes. Newhouse to the right wing side. Now it's going to be on the stick of Kittleson, jammed on the play. Nevers, Hendrickson checks him. I was thinking Mason.
Right, absolutely.
So there you go.
Okay.
I mean, you do it enough, they all start to blend into one. There's a shot in on goal by Huber. That one came from long out by Miller. Miller gets it back from the left point for the Skippers, winds and shoots that one high off the window, and it's going to be gathered in by the stick of Cole Wilson, cleared but not out. Gathered in now by Roloffs, who plays it to the right side for Dan Redden across the neutral zone. Cuts to the center red line and plays that in behind as Glockner plays that up. Oh! A big turnover. Lewin with an opportunity. Glockner gets quickly back in goal and gets the pad down. That would have been an open net when the goaltender set it up back in behind. Now Motzko's checked on the play, and they're going to bang this one off the boards back through center and wide of the Minnetonka goal it goes for an icing call.
Well, you're right, Pete. It was Holy Family Fire that got the first golden opportunity. It was Glockner that played the puck on the end wall, but put it onto a Holy Family stick. But nice recovery by the Minnetonka goaltender. He's seen some action early in this one. First blush for Bailey Huber, but Minnetonka showing some energy. But I like the way it started this Holy Family Fire squad. Noah Ron has to feel good about the energy of his team so far.
Through traffic it goes. Now it's going to be Renzel, the big baseball player, to the line. That's blocked in front by a leg of Spinner. And now it's going to be gathered in by Blood. Jammed on the play. He has the flowing locks out of the back of the bucket. Jammed in front of the bench area and back down into Fire territory we go with 14-18 to go.
Well, that's a second ice by the Holy Family Fire, and I think it's just because Minnetonka's on them in such a hurry. Minnetonka has great speed. They take good angles on the forecheck, but Holy Family, that's the second icing in the last minute, so they don't want to tempt fate too many times. Minnetonka pretty solid in the dots. Bayless gets tossed. Lagerbach in the draw with Pinonimi.
And back through center, it's going to be played back in. Jorgensen there, this first line back out for Noel Ron's edition. They'll play it to center ice. Redden will step up and play it in. Entering the game now, it's 15 wins on the season for the Fire of Holy Family Catholic against 9 losses and a tie. 21-2 and 3 rather for the Skippers. Back through center, it's Trey Fetchko, the youngster, plays that one in. Pinching down the wall, it's Ben Redden, plays that behind. Skippers will break out to the right wing side. and it's going to be handled and turned away there by Roloffs. He'll give it off to the left wing. That's knocked off his stick by Lagerback. And now it's going to be handled by Roloffs behind the net. Hendrickson up to the line. Miller toes it, pulls it to his left. There's a snapper. Ooh, that's off the headgear of Huber. Oh, a big stick save as he had to look it to his right side. He looked like Mike Palmatier, old school. Beautiful save there. Now to the right wing side, they've got numbers. Oh, a shot that rolled off to the right of Glockner. The tensions are high here at Braemar Arena. Back across the line they go. The Skippers with it. Now it's Hendrickson in front. Oh, turned away. Oh, and that hits the leg of Spinner off the side of the goal mouth. Skippers in the offensive zone with Newhouse spun off the puck. Big check by Charchenko. Back up to the line it goes. Now Doctor for Lidke, right wing side shot. Whoa, big save by Huber. That thing was a bullet. Finding an opening and sending the length of the ice is Spinner. 12 and a half to go in the first period. High school hockey right here at the MNHockey.tv. It is on here at Braemar Arena.
Well, the emotions are starting to elevate up a little bit. Newhouse with some nice work down low, put some pressure on Bailey Huber. Huber did a nice job of keeping the puck out of the net, but it just seems like Minnetonka is starting to get their offensive flow, but they're getting to the net. There are 3 Minnetonka Skippers just outside the blue with Doctor and Lidke in possession of the puck, so that's something Holy Family's going to have to be cognizant of. You have to block out and allow your goaltender to see the puck against, especially this Minnetonka Skipper team that can score.
Up high in the air, it gets away from Zitzloff. It's Rinzel with it. On the stick now of Blood as he's going to play this one back in. You know, his father, John, and I sold copiers back in 1991 at a place called American Photocopy in Eden Prairie. He sold the faxes. I sold the Toshibas. Can you believe it?
I have to.
That's how you learn how to sell, man. That was the toughest thing ever. Back into the neutral zone. Swift was there on the puck. Motzko is there, left wing side in the offensive zone, turns away at the sideboards. There's a shot that's fanned on there by Lidke, and back the other way they go with Jorgensen in the fire. Through the slot area, they look for Trey Fetchko. 37 points for the freshman. It gets away from him, now to the corner it goes. Back in behind the net, Skippers in possession as they'll look up ice with it. It's going to be Lidke, finds his man in the move. That's Streeter. Streeter with it, watched by Roloffs. Roloffs looks at him, plays the body. Pidonimi is there from the left side of their own zone. The Fire try to break it out. Lagerback gets a stick in there, but not enough. That's deflected in by the Fire. No ice on the play. Pidonimi gets there first. Doctor lays the leather. But it's the Fire that managed the battle, but winning it with some help with Lagerback are the Skippers back on the sticks now. There's a shot, Pidonimi right into the glove and held on to there by the goaltender, Charlie Glockner.
Well, it was kind of a weak shot by Pidonimi outside the right circle, but it was Glockner that tracked it quite well. But really nice forecheck by the Holy Family Fire. They're kind of going stride for stride right now. Minnetonka likes to establish a very torrid pace, and then it's up to Holy Family to match that pace. So far, just 6 minutes into this period, they have done that and put some good pressure on Charlie Glockner, and even 11 minutes left to go in a scoreless first period. Face off to Glockner's left.
Now to the right wing side, flipped high in the air through center. They'll go wide of Huber. No penalty. Crowd and our very own Matt Harrington looking for the infraction. In on goal, Huber makes the save, and he's going to hang on.
Well, emotions are starting to ramp up a little bit, but the referees are going to let him play. I thought it was going to be Hendrickson that was going to get a slashing penalty right in front of the referee, but he opted not to blow the whistle. And a pretty decent shot by Hunter Newhouse. I don't think he got all the wood on that one that he wanted, but it was a good save by Huber. Face-off now to his right.
Oh, my word, don't look now, but Minnesota Hockey Magazine, Scott Tiffany is in the house. He snuck in here. I didn't even see him. It's like hockey royalty.
Right.
And I thank you very much. I was going to ask for one of these. I'm looking right now at the True North edition. He's absolutely nailing it with these books.
He's a workhorse.
Crushing it. It's awesome. You know, he started his business in publications, and it's where his bread and butter is. It's impressive. Bet. Now it's controlled by Newhouse in front of the bench area. You can usually find these at Lunds and Byerly's, among other places, by the way. I'm excited to read this little number. Down to the low slot area it goes for Newhouse. Oh, that one nearly, I thought that was going to the back of the net off Huber. Instead, Spinner along the wall. It's been a really hard-fought defensive effort here by the Fire so far. They're maxed out. with this Skipper team in transition, but they're not overwhelmed at the same stretch of the imagination. But can they do this for 3 periods? I think is going to be the key question.
Been a lot more physical than I thought, too, and that's going to come into the 3rd period as well.
Henry is there from the corner. Motzko spun off the puck on a big check by Lewin. As it's the Skippers on their right wing boards in the offensive zone, they work it down to the low circle. Oh, a shallow angle. Score! No, Motzko. I thought that went off the mask of the goaltender, Huber, into the back of the net. He raised the stick, wrap around attempt. Oh, the goal mouth area there. Lacombe with the bid, and back the other way come the Fire as they'll angle this one from right to left with Dan Redden back in behind the net. Now it's going to be Doctor to Lidkey up the right wing side. Lidkey plays this one ahead. Streeter to the forehand. Lacombe rather, the heavy wrist shot misses the mark. Lidkey takes over, 8:57 to go, and we're scoreless here. Back down to the corner it goes, picked off by the Fire. Pinonimi with it. Ooh, that misses the mark. And now it's Charchenko, looks ahead. This is a rematch, by the way, folks, of that historic tilt that played out at Mariucci Arena. 3M at Mariucci, as we call it these days. Last year with that last second goal to force overtime by the Skippers. Pinonimi with it now. Now it's going to be Dr. Zitzloff rather to the neutral zone. Spinner steps up on that one as he's jammed on the play, and he'll find an opening and send it back in behind as it's Glockner to set up. Now the Skippers will ring the boards. Charchenko slides over from the left underneath the stick of Pinonimi all the way over to the right side it goes, and it's going to be Ben Redden to make the play. He tried to play it to the corner, but too many Skippers there. They force a turnover, and they're going to carry through center. Hounded and bothered on the play as Bayless looks for Streeter. Streeter couldn't pull the trigger. To the left wing side it goes, poked off the boards by the Fire's roll-offs. Now it's going to be Pinonimi with it, plays that one ahead. They've got an angling fetch go, but Lidkey's just too fast. He closes on that, plays to center, Bayless across the checkered. He's going to try to gift it to the middle for Lagerback, and that one's just offside. And Sawyer Schugel, all 5'2" of them, throws the leather and forces the offside. I'm kidding on the sides. He's not the biggest guy out there.
Well, his roll-offs as well that stepped up to challenge, forced a cut at the blue line. Minnetonka showing some good energy, but I've been impressed with the way Holy Family is getting on them in a hurry. They're really bringing a physical part of this game, and it's bringing Minnetonka into the more physical part of the game. Not a great wide-open flow, boy. Every piece of real estate is being earned so far. Just 7:47 left in this scoreless first period. Been a dandy so far, Pete Wagner.
In front of the bench area it goes as it's going to be shoveled back to the line. It rattles around. Where is it? To the slot area. Skippers follow through. Shallow angle. Kittleson looked in front. He was looking for Newhouse. And now they're going to play this up to the line. It's guided back down. That was Kiffin. Now Newhouse, shallow angle, slotted at there by the goaltender of Bailey Huber and the Holy Family Catholic Fire. Look out, up and over the glass it goes. 7:18 to go. We're scoreless here. It's tense at Braemar Arena, and you know what? We're getting close to the crowd that we had for the Eden Prairie Chaska game. It was packed in here for that one. We got still, what, I'd say about 300-400 seats available yet.
Well, but they're still filing in as well. But Minnetonka not shy about taking shallow angle shots. They've almost had some success. Huber's done a nice job of keeping his integrity on that post so far. But Holy Family doing a nice job of congesting the middle and really forcing Minnetonka to the outside.
Lacombe bothered on the play, back in behind. Henry with it, holds on to it as he looks back to the low slot. Lacombe shots blocked. Nice job there defensively. Jaden Anderson makes the play. Now it's Spinner with it. Spinner looks back up to the right wing side. Ahead it goes in front of the bench area. And now the Skippers will take over. Oh, a big check there across the line by Lewin. He lets one go. That handcuffed Glockner. And to the far wing it goes from the left point. Spinner's blast is deflected up and out of play. 6:41 to go here in the first, and we're scoreless.
Well, I think some of the physical play by the Holy Family Fire is having some value right now. And as you said, it was Lewin that actually took control of the puck, put a pretty good shot on Charlie Glockner, and then this one ramped up and out of play. Face off to Glockner's right. 6:41 left in a scoreless first period.
It's a battle brewing here at Braemar Arena. Skippers across center ice. They'll lay this one in on as Huber steers it over for Streeter. It's going to be gathered in by Jorgensen. He tries to get away from Doctor and sends that in wide of the mark. It's going to be the smooth stick-handling goaltender Glockner to guide it from the backhand behind to the right side for Lidkey. The shot now backed by Bayless. Misses the mark. Lagerback takes over. That's off the side of the net, well off the back end of it. Sounded a lot worse than it was with the clink, but up and out of play it goes.
Well, I think it's very important that Bayless and Lagerbach get involved in the offensive side of it. They did against New Prague. Both of them had a goal and an assist, but if they can get those players on the score sheet, or at least being offensive forces, that bodes quite well for the Minnetonka Skippers. So far, so good. Bayless showed some good speed and good quick releases we've been so familiar with over the year.
Pino Nemi, the face-off win, the ring by Dan Redden. Out of the zone they go. Fetchko is out-muscled on that play, and it's going to be Lagerbach back the other way as he angles to the left wing side. Works his way around one man, loses real estate back in behind the net. He goes, protects the puck, turns back into the right corner behind the net for Streeter. To the left side he goes. Now it's going to be Doctor from the left point. His pass down to the wall was deflected up high by Jorgensen. Couldn't wheel it out of the zone, and that was turned aside by Huber. He was looking one way, and the puck kind of hit him, and he steered it to the right side. Charchenko off the boards through center. Skippers change on the fly. No ice on the play. Kittleson better hurry because he's got Ben Redden breathing down his throat. Left wing pass on the breakout. Mason Hendrickson across the line as he's watching Ganas, and that's going to be stopped there by the defense. Fire look to break this out of the zone. It's going to be Cole Wilson. This tempo is terrific here from Braemar Arena. Wilson tried to find the trailer, but the Skippers are so sound defensively, they shut that down. To the right point, there's a Clapper pad save. Another save, rebound. Oh, two good chances in a row for the Fire, and there's Glockner to shut the door. First with the pads out of the butterfly, takes the rebound off the midsection, hauls it in with a big goal stick, and covers it up.
Well, Peter, you talked about how good Minnetonka Skippers are on defense. They've only given up 37 goals all year long, average of about a goal and a half a game, but Holy Family getting some pretty good opportunities. We're just a tick under 5 minutes to go in a scoreless first period. I think this Holy Family team's kind of going blow for blow for Minnetonka, but Minnetonka's getting some good rhythm through the neutral zone. They're getting into the zone, but Holy Family tightens up their defense, so they're playing quite well. Noel Ron has to be happy with the way his team's responded.
If you're wondering why there's no video, which we're so accustomed to here at the MNHockey.tv, we are blacked out for the Section 2AA. They followed suit with the 6AA, which said no video. So hopefully we can get those things changed over the coming years so everybody can see the video they want to. I don't think that's going to hold anybody back. I mean, you'd be foolish to not come out to these games. It's just, it so happens, Bart, there's people that work, there's things that are going on, there's family out of state.
Absolutely, and that's I think the primary part of it is the family out of state, or the people that are familiar with Minnesota high school at this, the hockey at this level, want to watch this contest. We'll work on that.
We will do what we can.
If anybody can make it happen, it's Pete Wagner, I'll tell you that.
I haven't figured it out yet, believe you me. That believe you me, you know where that line came from?
I have no idea.
Ken Resnick, former pro wrestling announcer. Believe you me, you won't want to miss it. Now it's going to be played up in the neutral zone, roll-offs. They get away from one man, Miller stays on it. Plenty of support through the neutral as it's the Fire that have been shutting it down, but they go backdoor for Motzko. He's had a great couple of weeks. Game's just getting bigger and stronger. He's a playoff-style player, no doubt about it. Not afraid to throw the leather. He's got the mitts, gets right in front of the net right now. Oh, he nearly got a stick on that redirect as Huber reads it through traffic, including Motzko, and hangs on to it. Face off to his right.
Well, Motzko and Charchenko exchanging some pleasantries, but you talked about Motzko's game ramping up. I think the Eden Prairie overtime game winner at Pagel really kind of boosted his confidence and kind of validated him, and from that point on, he's been kind of a wrecking crew. But a pretty decent shot by Doctor. Tried to go glove side, but nice save by Huber.
Ooh, off the face-off, muscled by Streeter. Huber, he's made some good saves, and that was a tough one with traffic coming his way. He made the goal stick save. Now Lidke from behind his own zone to the right wing side at center on the tape. Stick handled right off his own stick by Bayless across the line. They play it ahead. Now here they come with Jorgensen. Oh, and Fetchko offside at the line. The Fire faithful are saying no, and the Skipper fans are saying great call. Well,
it was good proximity by the linesman, so they're going to have to honor that call. But as you said, Fetchko just snuck in a little bit, and Jorgensen's really turned in a good showing so far this first period. It could have been a 2-on-1, so Holy Family shoots themselves a bit in the foot, but face off outside the Minnetonka zone. 3:34 left is scoreless first period.
Now it's going to be handled by Lidke. Angles it through center for Bayless, gains the line. That's deflected off the stick of Dan Redden. Nice little feed by the Skippers, Jack Bayless, but it's picked off by the Fire. 3:15 to go in the period. We're scoreless. Doctor, Lagerbach helps him out, gets it over to Lidke. Uncharted territory for him racing up the left side. Reese says seeing Doctor there instead. felt weird. There's a shot by Bayless that misses the mark. Now Roloffs is there. Nice pinch down the wall by Newhouse, keeps it alive. He'll work it out of the corner from the left wing for the Skippers' offensive zone. Huber in goal, looks to the right for the Fire, but there's a nice battle by Spinner. Solid, good-looking defenseman is the senior. Now it's going to be played back through. Here's a chance in on goal. Hendrickson. That one misses the mark. Now it's going to be Hendrickson with it. Ooh, that's up off the netting and out of play. And will face off inside the zone.
Well, Hendrickson had some good speed. Right-handed shot coming up on the left side. He tried to stretch it out a little bit. I thought he would have gone to the backhand a little earlier, but nice defensive play to track him down. Good angle by the Holy Family Fire defenseman. Really limited that rush, but Henderson definitely has brought some energy tonight. But offensive zone faceoff for Minnetonka. And now to Huber's left. 2:27 left in scoreless first period.
Fire now in control of the corner as two Skippers come in. There's Newhouse with Hendrickson. Newhouse turns blocker pad save. Huber went showtime on that one. Now from the right wing, nice job by Redden to kind of gather that in and get the zone. He loses control. It's going to be Sawyer Schugel as he's brought down. A power play coming up. And we will get to see the first one of the night. Yeah,
it looks like it's going to be Hunter Newhouse, a sophomore forward. Going to go to the box as it stands. It looks like it's going to be a holding penalty against the Minnetonka Skippers. Just 2:04 left in this first period. Really a trying moment for the Skipper team, but what a great opportunity for the Holy Family Fire. 35% power play against an 88% penalty kill. War of attrition is what I'm thinking, but what a great opportunity it is for Noel Ron and the Fire to go into the locker room with some energy, barring another penalty.
Face off, controlled by the Fire up to the line. Spinner plays it to the right wing side. They're going to work this to the low slot back door. They had Redden had to reach back to make the play. Couldn't hang on to it and get the trigger pulled. But there's a big turnover. Here comes Lager back. He's going to bull rush his way up. Spinner doesn't fight on that one as he cuts him off on his way in. And there's support back now with Cole Wilson. Wilson leaves that one. Spinner to the left wing side. They go with it. Now that one across the line, and it's going to be Jorgensen to forecheck back in behind. They clear to the line. Ooh, and that takes a funny hop off the wall away from Dan Redden. And it's going to be the Fire to regroup in their own zone. It's going to be Spinner back in behind. He puts on the brakes. As he looks up ice, he's going to go straight up the chute. Nice pass through center on the stick for Wilson. Angles to his right across the line. Henry was on him. Doctor gets a hold of Wilson in the corner. And they'll try to find some sort of possession. Wilson up to the line for Spinner. The left-hand shot from the right point. Wrister in on goal. Glockner from left to right goes down, gathers it in. 59.8 on the clock. 56 on the power play.
Well, it was a good hold by Spinner into the zone right side, and he tried to walk it out to the middle. Motzko kind of shouted him, so he got rid of that shot a little quicker than I think he wanted, but Glockner with good sidelines on that one received it. Nary a rebound. 59.8 left in the first period. Holy Family with an offensive zone faceoff on the power play.
There's a lot of chatter in this building, including the press box, which is packed. It's incredible.
It's a good vibe.
There's a wrist shot from far out. Oh, low slot. Oh, and a golden opportunity. Jorgensen got it with his back to the net. Turned and looked. He had the high blocker pad. But guess who was there? The big man Glockner to turn that one aside.
Well, and Jorgensen with 19 goals on the year made a bid for his 20th. Perfect position.
Spinner up ice quickly as he's hit by Lacombe. And now it's going to be Pinonimi to come over to the left wing side to gain the zone. He has Fetchko with him. Pulled away from traffic. Wilson was there. Now it's going to be roll-offs with it. Gets it over to Charchenko. Nikolai Charchenko. Oh, and icing's going to be the call. Back into Holy Family territory we go.
Well, it was a nice play by Lacombe on that on the penalty kill. He really stretched out and got enough of the puck to get it out of the zone, allowed Minnetonka to get back into the proper position. Now the faceoff's going to come all the way down into the Fire zone to Huber's left. Just 19 seconds, but Minnetonka catches a break offensive zone faceoff.
Lager back and Pinonimi. Puck plays to the left wing boards in Fire territory. 14 to go in the period. Pinonimi gets it off the boards for Charchenko. his pass is ramped up and out of play out of the bench area.
Well, pretty good busy stick. I believe that was Bayless that actually did that. Nice energy by Lagerbach, taking on a couple of dark jerseys and having some success in the dots, but it's been a pretty good kill for Minnetonka so far. Holy Family with some possession, but just can't get into that scoring area. Just 8.3 seconds left.
Skipper's Doctor in on goal. Huber turns it to the right side, and if you're Noel Ron and the Holy Family Catholic Fire, you went toe-to-toe with the number 2 team in the state, the defending state champion Minnetonka Skippers, and you've got everything to say, hey, you know what, we've clearly accomplished what we want to here in period number 1.
Well, yeah, I guess this is a pretty good scenario if you're a Fire fan. I mean, they traded blows with the heavyweight in Minnetonka, and they actually had some pretty good opportunities, so to speak. Minnetonka with a nice kill at the end of the period. That could have changed the complexion of this game, but both teams certainly came to play a very torrid pace. I don't expect that to change in the second period, but the long line is, I think it's incumbent on this Holy Family Fire to get off the ice early, because trying to defend against Minnetonka with tired legs is not an easy thing to do, but it promises to be a wide open second period. Looking forward to a lot of end-to-end action.
Indeed it does. Tonight's coverage is presented in part by many partners. We're going to be adding more for the state tournament coverage right here. You turn them down, you turn us up, we all get the deal. We know how it works. Optimal Goalie, presented by Larry Grace. You can get a hold of him at optimalgoalie@gmail.com. We're going to hear from him between periods tonight in this one. Also by Brew Pub Pizza, part of the Lots of Matza, half pound of phenomenal Wisconsin award-winning mozzarella cheese on there. Of course, by the Sportsman's Guide. They've got a huge event coming up. We're going to hear from them as well. The Beyond the Pond sale. That'll be during Championship Saturday. That's going to be awesome there. They've got a great sale up to 60% off of their items. RJM Construction, they're known to do incredible rink work. Give them a call. Check them out. We've got good stuff with them. Of course, Tradition Companies, you can check them out at traditionco.com. And for Tradition, they've been with us from pillar to post here. We'll be back with more coming up right after this. Periods of high school hockey state tournament coverage and section playoff time. And one of our great supporters and partners is the Sportsman's Guide. And we're joined by Scott Eichstad, Senior Vice President of Customer Experience and Operations. He's got a big job with a very big company that's located in South St. Paul, Minnesota. And, Scott, you had an event last year called the Sportsman's Guide Beyond the Pond Sale. That's year 1. This is becoming an annual event because you're bringing it back coming up on March 9th at noon at your store. Thanks for joining us once again, and we're excited to help promote this event for you. Can you talk a little bit about what's going on with your event?
Absolutely. Again, thanks for having me. And last year was our first annual Beyond the Pond sale event here at the Sportsman's Guide, and it was a success. We partnered with KFAN, and again, we're doing that again this year. They're going to have their live show right on location here in our store in South St. Paul, and Kevin Fallness, Pat Nicoletti, and Lou Danny's going to be on site, and it's just a wonderful opportunity for customers to come in and meet the legends within the state of Minnesota hockey, and at the same time take advantage of some incredible one-day only deals, up to 60% off on a lot of product in our store. So we had a great kickoff event last year, and year 2, and we foresee doing this year after year here, and the timing of it is great with the state high school hockey tournament, and which I obviously have a passion for on my past with hockey. So we're really looking forward to it.
Well, it's a great event, and it's a time we're all talking about hockey, and there's nothing more pure than high school hockey. I think that's what both of us have talked about a lot, and it's been in our blood for a long time, and there's a lot of traffic that's moving toward the St. Paul area, and I think one of the most important things is about your store. It's phenomenal. I mean, you've got everything in there, and for those that are familiar with it, they know exactly what they need, where they want to go, and what they have to do. But for those that are usually online shoppers, can you tell us a little bit about your in-store experience?
Absolutely. We're, again, Sportsman's Guide. We're in South St. Paul. We've been here. The Sportsman's Guide been around for about 40 years. And, the thing is with our store, whatever your passion, if you're an outdoors person, you're gonna find it in our store. If it's ammunition and shooting supplies, firearms, hunting equipment, tree stands, surplus, boots, shoes, clothing, fishing, camping, you name it, we have it. We have a rare and unique military surplus gear from the United States and all over the world. We've got a huge selection of ammunition that we sell most items in bulk. And then we have this clearance corner that at any given time there's discounts up to 30 to 60% off every day. So, and then a couple of other unique things I think for our store is if you're a first responder, retired or active duty military member, you receive 10% off your purchase or 5% off ammunition and firearms and other select items. Just our way of saying thank you for the men and women out there that support and take care of our country.
Well, Beyond the Pond is one of Minnesota's Twin Cities' only wall-to-wall hockey shows for 2 hours that you can find, and they're completely plugged in with Pat Micheletti and Brandon Molesky. I don't know if he's going to be a part of it again this year. You mentioned Kevin Fallness will be in the house. Lou Nanny will be there. It's a great time to come in, talk hockey. Check out your up to 60% off on sale items in the store. I suppose that covers just pretty much everything, right, Scott? I mean, I would assume.
Yeah, there's going to be deals and discounts. We're going to have some great drawings. We've got a Hummingbird Helix that's going to be a drawing item. We have some NCHC Frozen Face-Off tickets that are going to be available, and also a special prize from Ruger that you have to come in to see. And so we've got great discounts on anything that you are looking for from an outdoors perspective, activities, and then we've got some great drawing items. And at the same time, you can meet and get to know and listen to the show of Beyond the Pond, and get an opportunity to meet Lou Nanny, Pat Micheletti, and Kevin Fallness. So it's going to be fun.
And then once again, your address in South St. Paul is?
490 Hardman Avenue, South St. Paul, Minnesota. And right off of 494 off Concord Avenue.
Perfect. So it's easy to get there. Either way, you're coming on 494, you exit Concord, you go north about a block or so, and you turn right, and it's right there. Massive, expansive facility. You guys have a warehouse within the store. So the storefront serves great, but then you can actually have people go back and pick your product as well.
That's the unique thing about our store, and that's the exciting thing about our store is that from a square footage standpoint, it's not overly large, but we are connected to our warehouse, which is 400,000 square feet. So we have over 30,000 unique items in our warehouse that we obviously put into our retail store, some of them. But what's nice about our store, you can come and shop on the kiosk, go on the web, filter through our catalogs, and whatever we have in our warehouse, that shopping experience is taking place in our store. So we can do just a quick will call order. We'll go pick it out of the store, out of the warehouse, bring it into the store. And now, instead of a handful, the assorted items that we have in the store, we're expanding that to the warehouse, which is 30,000 SKUs. So it's a vast variety of items and a large amount of items that a customer can shop at any given time in our one store.
It's a hybrid shopping experience where you can experience the selections of an online purchase, yet you can touch it, feel it, and buy it. It's a great situation. So let's be sure to check out the Sportsman's Guide Beyond the Pond sale, 10 a.m. to noon on March 9th. That's Championship Saturday. Beyond the Pond and the crew will be there. Excited to see year two be even more successful after a great run last year. 60% off items, and you're going to have a number of drawings and things available, tickets as well. It's great stuff, Scott. Thanks for supporting high school hockey and making our coverage possible.
Thanks a lot. You're very welcome, and we're here to serve the public, and we're excited for the event that's coming in the next couple Saturdays here.
We'll be back with more coming up right after this. Periods on our Minnesota high school hockey coverage, and are pleased to be joined by Tradition Capital Bank's Scott Boyning. Scott's the market president for Tradition Capital Bank, and Scott, you got quite the thing going on here. Can you kind of give us an overview on Tradition Capital Bank? What is it? How many employees, future offices, or what you have for offices and future growth?
Sure. Thanks, Pete. Thanks for the opportunity. Tradition Capital Bank was a de novo bank in July of 2005. Today, 13 years later, we're about $700 million in assets, so a nice-sized bank. Main locations in Edina, Minnesota. We have a full-service bank in North Oaks, and possibly going to the West Metro in 2019.
Oh, really? Can you give us any nibbles of what you're thinking? Or
just growing the franchise. We've got a lot of clients and referral partners out in that area, so that we will be able to service the entire Twin Cities metro.
Boy, that's fantastic. So you'll have all angles covered there. From your bank, I personally bank with you.
Thank you.
And I love it. It's very efficient, very impressive. The staff is great, and all of the services are fantastic for me from a business perspective. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes your bank unique?
Yeah, we really focus on the relationship banking model, which is really getting to know our clients. So we're more positioned as a private bank, which means a lot of different things to different people, but really what we're focused on is larger relationships, less customers, more service. Kind of the old school way of doing banking. We sit down, meet with an individual, talk about themselves and their business and how we can help them. If it's over a cup of coffee or if it's at the bank or at their business, it's the face-to-face handshake type relationships we have. That I think in this day and age in banking kind of sets you apart with some of the big guys.
The big out-of-the-box chain type banks we've seen. But the other thing is how much has that, do you think, contributed to your future growth out to the West, and also your $750 million in assets, that type of strategy? How much has that played into it?
It's a very important part of our strategy. We're 99% referral based, so great clients like you telling other people that's the best way for us to grow. We've been organic growth from day one, hiring good people and taking care of our clients, and that's how we continue to kind of see our growth going forward.
Now, we know the economy has been soaring and the stock markets have been incredible, and it's been, for a lot of people, a good year. How has the year been for Tradition Capital Bank?
It's been another strong year. We've had about organically about $100 million of growth year over year for the last 4 years. And a lot of that is attributed to the overall economy in the Twin Cities and Minnesota market and the real estate market. Obviously, lately, rates have gone up a little bit, but we still feel there's a lot of strong growth in the new housing, new construction area going into next year. But we also, we're getting larger as a bank, we're getting more diversified. So seeing businesses grow, need for capital, and with rates going up, we're also paying a little bit more in deposit rates, which correspondingly kind of can help or hurt your margin depending on how you're doing.
In terms of, we kind of touched on a little bit about word of mouth and your relationships and those kinds of things, but what is one of the things that you do beyond that, to compete with the larger big name banks that you see the signs everywhere?
Yeah, for us, it's try to make banking simple and quick turnaround. We're locally owned and operated, so we make decisions here locally really quickly. Term sheets usually within 24 hours for a loan. Deposit accounts we can set up very efficiently, very fast. Technology is a game changer. I think that's the great equalizer in banking going forward. So we continue to invest in technology to help make it easier for our clients and their businesses to do business with us.
Now, we do know that technology is part of everything, and there are some tools out there that people employ in every aspect of business. What have you done on the banking side of things to utilize that?
For us, it continues to be, I think, paramount is the security side, and we continue to make investments in security. You're seeing a lot of fraud, cybersecurity, things like that in the news. And then mobile apps, continuing to make our mobile app the best we can to make it easy, taking a picture of your check to make a deposit so you don't have to come in, moving money. We're also researching additional ways for people to be able to move money easier.
Yeah.
You've heard of Zelle and different.
And we welcome you back to Black Screen as our Matty Ice goes to work to bring it all back home with the score bug and everything else that we need. There we go, Matt. We're just about there as we're underway to start the second period. Doing business here. Oh, look at this. The Brain Trust is in the house from the Eden Prairie Eagles. Lee Smith going to work. He's got the briefcase. Paul Ranheim is to his left. Royalty here at Braemar Arena in the upper deck.
And we're fortunate to have him up here with
Bart
us.
Archer's heart started to pitter-patter because he's around hockey royalty.
Skipped a couple beats.
High school hockey and NHL. Heimer's done it all, man. That dude was just a baller. Now it's going to be left wing side, Streeter. Skippers are moving from right to left across your computer screen. No, that does not lie. That is your score right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And shots on goal that period, Minnetonka 11 and Holy Family with 9. So really not much of a difference between the two squads. I think Minnetonka might have had a mild advantage, but I was very impressed with the way Holy Family not only played, they played very intelligently, but they really pushed the pace back to Minnetonka and maintained with a very slick Minnetonka team. It's just a question whether they keep this up the second period as well.
No ice on the play. Back into skipper territory it goes, with Doctor being hounded on the play by Jorgensen, who had a great period for the Fire. Jorgensen we're speaking of. Lidke now. Rink wide for Doctor. Look out. That was in the wickets. Stepped on the biscuit. Nearly lost his edge.
Oh.
Lidke. Doctor now. Watched on the play. These two have been held in check by the Fire, and I mean they haven't had their mark on the game offensively like we're used to seeing them do.
No, correct, but they've made some plays, but when you can get those two skating backwards, that bodes quite well for this Holy Family Fire team, but I'm sure we'll hear from them before this contest is over.
You know what the Fire haven't done? Gone to the box, and that's where you get really snipped here by the skippers. That one misses the mark. Hendrickson plays this one around the wall as Zitzloff steps up to the right wing side, angles a left wing pass for Hendrickson across the Fire line from the left side. Glove save. Huber, he's been steady. Looks that one right into the catch glove and will face off to his right.
Well, it was a nice job by Holy Family to force Mason Hendrickson to the outside. He was outside the offensive left dot, took that shot from a shallow angle, but it was Huber who made a pretty good glove save, about 1.5 feet off the ice. So a nice save by the Holy Family goaltender. And Huber, 33 or 31 save performance in the shutout against Prior Lake, so he can stop the puck. He's on a roll right now.
Back through center ice it goes. They try to play it to the corner and they come away with it. Red, now the Fire offensive zone, stick save made. Shots on goal were 10-9 in favor of the Skippers. You can check it out at mnhockey.tv. Oh, here's a foot race. Kittleson racing in on his man. Nice job to protect the puck for Cole Wilson, the senior. Swatted it to the right side. Now it's pushed over to the left wing side. Sawyer Schugel was there. Puck rolls to the slot area, and the Fire will play this one ahead across center. They chip the glass, and Miller steps into his man, Ben Redden rather, and icing the call.
Well, and Redden had a couple of words for him as well. But Pete, coming into this game, doing a little history looking back, Holy Family was really had a 5-1 advantage over Minnetonka coming into as far as their history. But obviously we remember the 5-4 sectional final where Minnetonka Lagerback scored with 3 seconds left, and it was Lidke that tallied at 11:33 of overtime. But this has a kind of the sneaking feel that we might have an extra session.
We've got something special going on here for sure. As once again, as this game goes longer and it's closer, one thing the Skippers aren't going to do is they're not going to panic. They've been there, done that. They've got great leadership on and off the ice from a coaching and player perspective. But you know what? The Fire were a team that were destined to go to the state tournament last year and got stopped in heartbreaking fashion.
Well, and I think
they're not too far removed from that.
No, and I'm thinking that the longer that Holy Family can keep the score as it is, they're going to build confidence. It's going to be harder for Minnetonka to close them out.
Lidke's shot deflects to the right corner. Huber off his post looks on as the Skippers try to play it out of the corner. Defensive zone structure is very disciplined by the Fire. They're not running around. And now they're going to play this from the corner. That doesn't get through all the way to the left wing side. They battle off the boards. Nice job by Henry, big physical forward. Now it's going to be the Fire from their left corner, flip through center. That's off Doctor's stick. He's going to run to the corner with this. He's bothered on the play. Blood watches him. They'll bump this one off the corner. Now it's going to be Lidke with it. Ahead he goes to Teddy Lagerback. He'll gain the line, loads it up. That's deflected off the stick of Jorgensen, up and out of play.
Well, it was a good busy stick by Jorgensen, but it was Lagerback that came up with some speed. He's the right-handed shot coming up the left side, so he had a pretty good angle. I think he shot that a little earlier than he wanted, but a nice push by the Holy Family Fire defense at the blue line. So if they can keep challenging Minnetonka at the blue line, forcing him to be a little uncomfortable, that bodes very, very well moving forward.
A lot of the playoff games today have played themselves out. We're getting toward sort of the nightcaps here. There's a shot, not many of these evening affairs. Now it's Miller with it. His shot's wide of the mark. Swung off the boards by Dan Redden. Back up to the line. That's Fanned on there by Miller, and here they come across the line. It's Fetchko on the off wing, left wing side he goes with it, trying to play it through a pair of legs. That didn't fool Miller, and then there's Lager back to take it over from the line. That hits Zitzloff, then off Miller's skates to the corner. Big collision with Jorgensen off the boards. Pinonimi comes away with it, try to force that one through up to the line. There's a slapper that's well wide of the mark off the stick of Jorgensen. Pinonimi now. It's won by Zitzloff to the line, but not out. Sent right back in behind Pinonimi. Ooh, he wanted to go short side on the pass against the grain, but that was deflected away. Bayless pass for Streeter, misses the mark. In front of the bench area it goes, and it's going to be the Fire to send this one right back into Minnetonka territory with 12:42 to go in period number 2. We are indeed scoreless. That's not a typo at your MNHockey.tv scoreboard there. That is correct. Nothing between these two editions. Shallow angle for Huber to shut that one down. Now Bayless. Second period, though, has shown the Skippers with much more pressure. Not getting golden opportunities, but they're starting to work the game they want to. Now here's the Fire that's played ahead. Nifty pass. Turn to the right side. Ben Redden shot it on goal. He and Sawyer Schugel hooked up there.
Well, Ben Redden gained the zone, took a pretty good shot from the offensive right circle, from the top of that circle, but Glockner a little owly. He tried to go short side on that glove side, and he had to kind of turn his glove over to make that save, but very athletic play by Charlie Glockner. You are correct. 0-0, 12-13 left in the second period, but it has been primarily Minnetonka, but Holy Family showing an awful lot of fire and character.
Indeed they do.
They're not intimidated at all.
By the way, for those of you that hadn't noticed, congratulations to Breck, who won the girls Class A state championship with a convincing 6-1 win, back-to-back for them.
Congratulations.
Over the Warriors of War Road. Up and out of play off the stick of Charlie Glockner. We're going to face off inside the Skipper zone.
But Peter, Minnetonka's path into this game, it was against New Prague. They won 5-0, but it was Duke Kiffin, the sophomore defenseman, got his first goal of the season. That turned out to be the difference. They won 5-0, but that was the first goal. So after all that hard work for young Mr. Kiffin, finally got a tally on the board, reward for a lot of hard work. That's got to give him some energy moving forward. But noticeably absent out of the lineup is Will Kroll, the senior defenseman for this Minnetonka Skippers team.
He's a difference maker.
He indeed is.
Now it's going to be Zitzloff, plays it ahead for Lacombe. Wide of the mark. Huber shovels that one away from the oncoming Motzko. And now it's the Fire through center ice. That's off Kiffin's wheels and then sent in by Eric Rinzel and held on to by Glockner. By the way, for girls hockey, while we're on that topic, Brainerd Little Falls looking to beat the Hornets of Edina twice this season as they beat them right here on Braemar Arena ice. And the Walls are classic, up 2-1 in that one as that into the second period. Matt Harrington, our producer, he doesn't know. Who cares? Back behind the net, back to action here. In front. Oh, what a chance there. It just missed. Lewin was wide open. He's had 2 golden opportunities. It worked the heel, and they're going to kind of trap the neutral. And they're going to turn that, repel it away. It's Doctor with it. A very patient defensive approach here in the neutral by the Fire, taking transition away. Henry, oh, look out. They're going to be offside. The Fire have to touch back up on that one. Rink wide it goes. Bounced in on goal as it's Huber. Boy, I nearly lost it there. That was that good of a chance in front.
Well, it really was, but it was Doctor that actually interrupted the stick, looking for a redirect on that. The pass originated from the right offensive corner, just out in front of the net. A chance for a redirect, but Doctor, minding his defensive positions, really limited that. But it was a good look, good opportunity, but Minnetonka survived. Now it's an offensive zone faceoff for the Skippers to Bailey Huber's right. 10:52 left in a scoreless second period.
Back to center ice it goes now. Doctor is bothered on the play by Jorgensen, who's really been physical here tonight. And it's sent back into, Huber thought that was going to be an ice. He had to quickly jump out. Oh, and he was out of the, he's quick. Got back into the net. They didn't hit the mark, though. Litke sends that back over. Bayless shot that hits traffic. Lager back down to one knee. Behind the net he goes. He stood up on the play by Pinonimi. Now it's a 2-on-2 battle directly behind Huber in the Holy Family Catholic Fire goal. The puck is shoveled along. Ooh, they had a hand pass there. The official on the backside had to call that one. Oh, they come together. Jorgensen getting under the skin of Litke. we'll see what we get out of this one. They're taking one, they're taking two.
Well, they have to take two on that. It would be unfair to only take one, but two big primary players for both teams going to the box, as you said. Lucas Jorgensen, the junior forward, and it's going to be Josh Litke. Oh, it's Charchenko. Well, again, another formidable player, senior defenseman. Charchenko is going to go to the box, but we're still going to be 5-on-5, but two pretty primary players for both teams in the box for a couple plus till the next whistle. But I really like the Holy Family Fire in their own zone. They're getting in front of shots. Their positioning is solid. They're getting the busy six on the puck. And I'm not saying it's frustrating Minnetonka, but they aren't getting to the scoring areas that they're so used to, but they're battling through it and still getting at least some possession. They just have to work into the scoring area and put some pressure.
I think the discussion point here between the officials as they're huddled up is whether they give 2 to 1 and 1 to the other. Do they award the power play? How did this thing start? Was it tit for tat? We'll find out.
Well, I think it was tit for tat, but we'll wait for, obviously, the referee's interpretation.
Well, they're talking about it.
Well, they both got engaged on the sidewall, and I don't really think there was an advantage either way, but both players are going to both coaches are going to be without their players.
Bench. They need another guy. They got a double minor. I'm calling it out right here. Right now, Minnetonka leads in the shots on goal for 14-13.
Well, the gap closing a little bit. It was a two-shot advantage in the first period, but they don't reward results for shots on goal. So the one team's got to punch it in. That first goal is going to be awful important as emotions can peak and they can dive as well. But these two teams certainly have come to play today.
It's amazing. The student section is going with the beachwear, and they've got the life preservers on from Holy Family.
Well, apparently the theme is...
they look like they should be the Skipper fans, so it's great.
Well, if they were playing against Edina, they'd have Hornet gear on and that kind of thing,
That's
so they
beautiful.
kind of mimic the theme.
I
like it, absolutely.
There's a great spirit and vibe here at Braemar Arena. 2 games in a row. While we can't bring in the video due to the section rules, we couldn't be happier to at least try to paint the picture through our vocal cords.
Power play Fire.
With what's left of them. So the Fire now with their second man advantage of the game. Is that correct, Bart Archer?
Yes.
Up high to the line it goes. Now they start with the possession. Spinner shot hits Blackner. Rebound, side of the net in front. Oh! They nearly had Jorgensen. How many chances can the big man get? It's incredible. They'll pin up on the boards. Wilson is there. This is a gutty Fire performance here. I'm kind of digging the effort. Skippers are fighting back with them, but this thing is... feels like an overtime game to me, man.
Peter, there are 3 Skippers in the corner fighting for that puck against 2 Fire players. And they only have 4 players on the ice and 3 were in the corner, so they have to be careful. They came out with possession, but you don't want to tempt fate.
Battle.
Right on.
It's kind of going all eggs in the proverbial basket. Glove down at the line by the Fire as they try to play that through. Clear to the line. Jorgensen has it. Ooh, try to do a little sauce to the slot. Stood up on the play. It was Doctor and swung his stick about head high. He just missed Wilson with that. That could have been ugly, and there's a penalty coming up.
Well, it's going to be a tripping penalty, it looks like, but Doctor's very fortunate that the referees didn't call that one, but he took exception as far as that hit. It was a good open ice check, stopped his forward progress, but it looks like it's going to be against the Holy Family Fire. I think they just have to sort out who it's going to be, but it's going to be a tripping penalty. So the referee.
So it'll be 4-on-4 for 59 seconds. There's 9:15 to go in the second, and it's going to be Pino Nimi.
Yeah,
that's going to go.
You are correct. Barring another penalty, perhaps, but there's going to be a lot of space out there. I would say that it definitely gives Minnetonka an advantage, but that's not the case with the speed that the Holy Family Fire team has shown tonight. So there's going to be a lot of space out there, a lot of room, a lot of opportunities. 9:15 to go in the second period, 4-on-4. We're scoreless.
4-on-4 situation. The power play for the Skippers, when they get to it, they need about 8 seconds to score. That's how good they are on it. But this guy, Huber, in goal has been so good. He gets the glove down and covers that one up off the faceoff. Well,
he's working into his 5th period without letting in a goal, so he's done his job keeping his team in this game, no question about it, but he's had great support by the Fire line mates as well.
Be sure to check us out when you're driving down to the Let's Play Hockey Expo, the state tournament. Put us on YouTube. We're doing all the state tournament action. We'll have the Section 2AA final for you. Working on the 6AA final as well for Mariucci on Wednesday. Turn them down, turn us up when you're at home. And we appreciate everybody listening in with us here as always, at the mnhockey.tv. Can't wait till next year either, Bart. It's going to be bigger and better than it was this year, if you can believe that.
Awesome.
Across the line now, Doctor puts on the brakes. The old how's she going? In on goal. Nice save made. Huber with the read and the glove hand save.
Well, it was a nice drag by Doctor to actually create some space. He had a lane, but there were two Holy Family Fires between him and Bailey Huber, the goaltender. The puck found Huber, but Huber, nice job of tracking that puck about a foot off the ice on the glove side. So he's been challenged in that area a couple times, and he's answered the bell each time. Just 22 seconds left in the penalty to Josh Lidke for Minnetonka, and 1:24 left in the penalty to Pinonini.
Schugel and Bayless on the draw. Bayless through the legs to the end boards. Off the glass it goes. 4-on-4 through center. Schugel can fly. That's Fetchko, rather, as he stood up on the play with Miller. Now it's Lagerback back the other way. 8 to go in the 4-on-4. Then skipper power play time. Off Fetchko's stick. Lagerback is there as he plays this one down to the corner. On the stick now of Lewin. Off the glass he goes and to the center. Fetchko guides it back with some help. Back in behind the net. Now it's going to be Glockner to set up, and Doctor's going to wait for some help on the power play breakout. 48 to go in the extra man. Kiffin across the line. Back behind the net. Redden is there, rings the boards. Here come the Fire back through the neutral zone they go. That's off Kiffin's stick, and it's going to be Spinner to rip that one back in behind the net. Cut off behind by Glockner. Now it's going to be Doctor with it. Grant Doctor up the middle with 25 to go in the man advantage. 7:39 to go. We've yet to have a marker by either team here tonight. Kiffin, left wing side. Doctor loads it up. Oh, he hit the crossbar up and out of play. He can snipe, and the goalie's best friend comes up big there for the Fire.
Well, it was Kiffin that's actually usually plays on the right side. He is over on the left side. Drew a couple of Holy Family Fire defenders in. And dished it off to Doctor. He walked it in, and he's a left-handed shot on the right side, so had a pretty good angle. Kissed off the post, up and out of play, face-off in the Holy Family Fire zone. Just 15 seconds left on the Fire penalty. 7:30 left in a scoreless second period.
Hello to Scott Jensen, who's listening on board. His son Jack was off the charts today.
Yeah, very, very focused today. Let's just put it that way.
10 to go on the power play. It's going to be Doctor, Kiffin, through to Bayless. Down off the side of the net they go. 2 to go, 1, and now we're at even strength. Wraparound attempt that hits a Fire player in front. That's Charchenko. And now to the corner, it's Streeter who comes away with it, guides this one back in behind the net. Charchenko hustles over, jams his man. Lagerback, nice save there on the wraparound attempt by Huber as the puck rattles back into the Minnetonka zone. Icing, 6:56 to go in the second period. We're still scoreless.
Well, it was Minnetonka creating some space, and it was Charchenko that actually broke his stick, so kind of a vulnerable moment for the Fire in that. But he's got a new twig, but working around the goal. They didn't get out front, so again, Holy Family being very responsible, protecting the front of the net, but Minnetonka getting down low with some possession. It looks like the Braemar rink crew is going to come out and fix some ice.
My guy Rick is on it. We'll take this opportunity to remind you that tonight's coverage is presented by Optimal Goalie. You can check them out at optimalgoalie@gmail.com. Off ice, you get the on-ice goaltending coaches that do all the technical stuff. This is a fusion of that. It's hybrid. Larry Grace Jr., we're going to hear from him between periods. He is terrific. By Brew Pub Pizza, lots of matzah. Again, I got to mention the half round of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. It's not just, why is it that their cheese is always award-winning and so awesome? It's just, but it is. Sportsman's Guide, don't forget about the big event coming up. It's the Beyond the Pond special that they've got going on there. That's going to be great. Up to 60% off items at their facility. We're fixing the ice right now. We're bringing out the fire extinguisher, the whole deal. RJM Construction and Tradition Companies. You can check them out. 7 companies in one with traditionco.com. They got it all covered from the Capital Bank to Wealth Management, Robert Thomas Homes, Homes by Tradition, the Mortgage Company,
Golf.
Title Company, Wealth Management,
Golf.
My guy Brad Johnson, my guy Schumacher, whose team just absolutely bent over Hastings by a score of 8-1, a number 1 seed. How can that happen? And they're going to be taking on the Lakeville North Panthers in another North-South Classic.
Wow, imagine that. But Hastings, congratulations on a great year this year. Unfortunately, it didn't quite go the way that they wanted. But this Lakeville South team, we talked about it. Pete, we've talked about it for the second half of the year about how they're going to sneak up and jump out. But now they get an opportunity against their rival, Lakeville North. Always a spirited affair. I think they split during the regular season series, but throw that out the window. It's a whole new season.
You've got Derek and Rick and company out there from Braemar Arena going to work on the end boards. This happened in the Edina and Eden Prairie game off the far side. I think Jet Jungles was railed and foot came down on the ice.
Yeah, a big chunk came out of the ice on that occasion.
Oh, yeah, they love it. There it goes. The fire extinguisher lighting it up, putting on a show. It's like Kiss is in concert. The big tour coming up. One last kiss.
Well, a fire extinguisher, how ironic in that, and that's what Minnetonka wants to do is extinguish the fire tonight. Couldn't resist, sorry.
Are you going to that tour, Bert?
Say it again.
Love Gun, you going to check them out?
Probably not.
You don't like them, do you?
I don't mind them.
You don't like the simple 4/4 rock?
I don't mind the 4/4 rock, B. Wagner. Just not a concert goer anymore. I went to too many when I was a youngster.
What?
Nothing. We don't. Nobody cares
no, I'm
about
working the ears like you can't hear because you're deaf.
Fair enough. I should have picked up on that.
Thank you. John Sands scoring the game at the mnhockey.tv. We'll have a little game recap for you, some quotes from the winning team.
Well, how do you think this is going to affect either team? It looked like Minnetonka was starting to get some offensive rhythm, and now that's been a delay of a couple minutes. We'll see if it has any adverse effect.
I mean, that's a good point. This game has been so tense back and forth. I don't think it really makes a difference because I think this is where nobody had a real power momentum. You know, Tonka did have the brief power play, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll let the game play itself out. Right. Wide of the mark. Lagerback misses. Streeter from the right corner. Skipper's in the offensive zone up high to the line. Lagerback back in behind the net. He is watched by Charchenko. Strong on the puck. Score!
Oh, my word.
A shallow angle shot. Teddy Lagerback took the whole building by surprise, and it's 1-0 Minnetonka. I guess that impacted the Skippers, Bart. They respond.
Well, indeed, but it might have taken something away from the Fire a little bit. But, you know, Minnetonka in the first period, all they were getting was shallow angle shots, but it was Lagerbach that took advantage just on the left side of the offensive zone. Just a very shallow angle, took that shot. I think it beat Huber between himself and the post, but what a big goal it was for Minnetonka. Now it'll be interesting to see how the Holy Family Fire respond, see if this has any consequential effect on them, but they're right back to the dot, so body language is favorable for Coach Noel Ron.
That's his 16th of the season for Teddy Lagerback. A big goal as he willed it off the wall. He did it all alone. Even strength marker. 10-20 your official time of that goal. Skipper's now control. There's Doctor's shot that deflects wide of the mark. Over to the wing it goes. Pinonini to Charchenko. He looks ahead to the right wing side. That's deflected under the stick of Kiffin. Back into Minnetonka territory goes. He's going to be watched on the play, but fights off the forecheck of Fetchko. Back into the neutral zone. Right wing off the stick of Streeter. Still maintains across the line. Then he's checked off it. It's picked up by Ben Red and turns it over. Bayless. Oh, he wanted to go high glove. That might have hit the top, the crown of the mask, and up and out of play.
Well, and then it went off the Edina banner as well, but that's who you want in that position, and that's Jack Bayless, senior forward, just between the hash marks. Let one rip, but I think, as you said, Peter, went off Huber's face mask, but trying to go high cheese on him on that one. But, you know, if Bayless can get those opportunities, that means good things for Minnetonka generally. But I like the way that Holy Family responded after that goal. They didn't seem to waver a little bit. Normally, one team peaks and the other team dives. I haven't seen that dive from Holy Family, so that's a good sign.
Zitzloff came away from that. 5:39 to go. 1-0 in favor of Minnetonka.
But it just seems like Minnetonka is just a little bit more, I don't want to say relaxed or calm, but they seem to be kind of a little bit more comfortable as far as how things are going and how they go about their business. So that goal meant quite a bit for this Minnetonka Skipper team. Got the onus off their back. The first one's always the hardest one to get.
Face-off win by the Skippers. Back into the corner it goes. It's going to be Miller bumped off the boards for Newhouse. He's going to be stopped on the play with a nice stick by Wilson. Back behind the Skipper net it goes. Newhouse is going to try to find some real estate. Got a little air on that pass as he finds Kittleson. I can't call it sauce because it didn't quite look like it because it wobbled. Back behind the net, Kittleson was there. Now it's going to be cut off by Wilson. Kind of reminds me of Tom Wilson of the Caps with that body. Cross the lines, got the namesake, no relation. Now it's going to be picked up by Miller. Cross center red. Miller dangles to the right wing side. Oh, shallow angle in hard on Huber, who shuts the door. Does a nice job there. Gets the glove on that one and keeps it out of the back of the net.
Well, and we've seen James Miller throughout the course of the year, and he certainly has offensive capabilities, and he showed his skills right there. Kind of walked his way through some congested areas and put a pretty good shot on Huber, but Huber kind of held on to that post that time, kept it out of the net, face off to his left. Just under 5 minutes to go. Minnetonka now has that 1-goal lead.
Slowly, Minnetonka cinching in on the game. Huber's keeping them at bay. They're not getting glorious chances, but they're on the puck, and it's fatiguing to chase in the defensive zone. Backdoor angle. Henry's shot up off the glass, all the way up high to the right point. There's Litke now, plays it down the wall. Motzko with it to the corner. He's brought down by Spinner, no call there. And now it's going to be back off the corner. Henry with it as he's going to try to work it up the left wing wall in his offensive zone. They got to give and go out of the corner. Oh, what a save by Huber. Oh, it's Motzko and Henry working the G&G right out of the corner. They go upstairs, and Huber gets the glove out on that one. Quick mitts there for the young goaltender.
Well, indeed, it was Motzko that actually put it right on Henry's stick, and Henry tried to go upper glove. But nice flash into the leather by Bailey Huber, the senior goaltender for the Fire. He's made a couple pretty good saves. Hasn't been challenged too much, but answered the bell in all but one. But another good opportunity in tight by Minnetonka. So they're starting to get some space in that scoring area for Minnetonka. It's through a lot of hard work, but Holy Family survived that one. 4:20 left in the second period. Minnetonka up 1-0.
Hey, man, how much fun are you having?
Oh, having a blast. Trying to keep.
It's that good.
Indeed it is.
Great vibe in here, this place. No place better on earth than Braemar Arena. I mean, come on. I got this East Side guy, Matty Harrington, who plays at the Charles Schultz Arena. No disrespect, but come on. Nice try. This one plays through the slot area.
He has no chance to defend himself either.
You can't. It just is what it is.
Pete Wagner.
Up in the air it goes. Now it's going to be handled by Litke. Cut off by Huber behind the net. Redden was there. Got Dan and Ben Redden working the Fire lineup.
Well, it was Ben Redden that scored the decisive goal at the 11:42 mark of the third period against Prior Lake to give him this opportunity to play against Minnetonka.
How about that? The penalty shot with like 7 seconds left. In front. Oh, that worked its way through to Glockner, and ahead it goes to Bayless. Bayless at center, 2-on-3. He's going to try to work it outside. Charchenko is really good there with the stick and stops him on the way. And now it's Charchenko across the line. Didn't have as much time as he thought. Now Lagerback's going to regroup and turn it back up ice as he edges up the middle. Left wing for Bayless. Caught that one standing still a bit. Nothing to do but just chip that one in and get to the bench. Now it's going to be the Fire. Quick outlet. Touch pass that misses the mark. Bayless stood up. Here comes Newhouse. Takes over after the check. But a nice stick. Spinner's been an all-star here today.
He's been great today.
Really impressing yours truly. That takes a lot. Mason's there with the body. Not really. Now here they come, the Fire. Big check by Kittleson, but they'll pick it up. Great support across the line. 2-on-2. Holy Family Catholic on the move. Now it's going to be Ben Redden to the corner. Wilson in there as well as they get checked. Kittleson comes away with it as he looks at backup ice with 2:35 to go in the period. Still just 1-0 Minnetonka. Oh, Miller had a man in front. That was Hendrickson, and he stood up on the play. Here come the Fire out of the zone. The Fire look a little bit fatigued on the move here. They're trying to carry it. Down goes Schugel, and up goes the arm, and a penalty power play. That is absolutely, Schugel is like chirping. I just go to the bench and shut up.
Well, that would be
Take
to
the
his
power play.
Right, that'd be to his team's advantage. There's no benefit in letting the other team know your emotions. But it is going to be A.J. Kittleson, the senior forward, that's going to go to the box for tripping. But again, a great opportunity for this Holy Family Fire team. 2:21 left in this second period, down by 1. Now they're on the power play, and we talked about that 35% power play. They've been successful 22 of 63 times coming into this game, but Minnetonka, very stingy 88% penalty kill. But the onus is on Minnetonka to pick up their teammate and get through this challenge. Nothing better than Noah Ron would like to at least get some possession in the offensive zone and force Charlie Glockner to make a couple saves. Well, it's going to be Bayless and Lagerbach up front, Doctor and Lidke on the backside, but all the talented offensive players out for the Fire. Noah Ron understands this situation, but very important face-off, emphasis on Minnetonka.
The Egan Wildcats taking the Rosemont Irish out to the woodshed by a score of 4-1. Mike Taylor's addition is good this year. Mark, they're top 20. And I'm telling you, St. Thomas Academy doesn't have a gimme in that section.
No, indeed they don't. That's a big win right there.
Spinner's going to have to hurry off the face-off power play now on. Big check there by Bayless.
And he didn't overcommit either. He didn't take himself out of the play. Really well done.
Right back into it, right to the middle where he needed to be. Behind the net, Glockner likes to lean into that one, clears, and that's Rick DiPietro at the high school level reincarnated. Hopefully he doesn't blow out the knee.
Right.
I just jinxed it, sorry. Across the line, wrister. That one misses the mark. Up to the line for Jorgensen. Gets it up for Spinner. Over to the left wing side. Charchenko down low. Oh, the shot. Rebound. Oh, another chance for Jorgensen. Are you kidding me?
Oh, my word.
Oh, my word. The dude is going to be up hardcore at 3 a.m. in cold sweats. He's had about 4 golden opportunities.
And that was the best of them all right there, but they just had numbers. That's where the man advantage comes into play. They just flooded the zone, really got down low. I don't know how that last follow-up opportunity. Glockner made 2 saves, but as you said, then the puck came on the Fire stick, and he just went into an open goal. I think it might have been Doctor that got in the middle of that one, but bullet dodged by Minnetonka Skippers. 1:38 left in the penalty, 1:16 left in the penalty to Kittleson for Minnetonka.
Spinner gets it from Pinonimi. They go from right to left. Blocker pad saved by Jorgensen around the wall. It goes up and out of play. You know, the thing about Glockner is on that last set of chances for Jorgensen, he's usually so good at gobbling up and controlling rebounds, and they've kind of been flying out on him a little bit more tonight than I think he wants.
Well, but I think you're right, but I don't think he's losing his position, and he's not too busy in goal. He's maintaining his positioning. I think that's the most important part. The second one was a position save on that one, but again, the Holy Family Fire is starting to smell blood in the water, but they got to get to work here pretty quick.
1:27 to go in the period, 1:06 in the power play. Hendrickson comes in after they were tossed. Face-off controlled. Spinner, Fire in possession. Pinonimi top of the right circle. The captain plays this one back in behind the net. The Fire now jammed up on the wall. It's Miller, Zitzloff together behind the net. Oh, precious seconds ticking down. 48 to go in the power play. Now down to 46. It comes free. Spinner will get there first for the right point. Pinonimi try to go phone booth. Couldn't as Hendrickson swats that one to center. Turned up ice by Dan Red. Nice little play to get away from traffic. Escapes up high at the left blue line. He's going to hit Hendrickson with that one. Down the wall it goes. Zitzloff on the backhand clears the zone. And it's going to be handled by Huber. Quickly plays this one ahead. Pinonimi's going to wait for it at the line. He's got some ice. Pinonimi to the corner. Tried to play it through the legs. Didn't fool Doctor. Gets a hold of it. Sends it the length of the ice. 15 to go in the power play. 34 to go in the period.
Boy, vulnerable line change on that one, Pete. They were all 4 Minnetonka Skippers went off, so he had some space, as you said.
Hubert had to get some air on that puck to get it all the way up to Pinonimi at the far blue line, and that was what kind of cost him a little bit there. Back in behind the net it goes. Now it's going to be handled by Lidke as he's going to work his way around the ref with 14 to go in the period. Across the line, it's Motzko. He's going to carry this one deep. Out of the slot area it goes. Motzko state tournament battle tested from St. Cloud Cathedral, was really good last year in it, and he's looking no worse. I mean, that's the kind of stuff, you know, he's listed on the depth chart, let's say third line, whatever, but he's playing major role here for the Minnetonka Skippers in a game like this where he's much needed.
Well, he's a player now that I think Coach Goldsworthy can put out in virtually any situation, have confidence in that respect, but that's where the progression goes as far as the development of these players, and there's few programs that are better than Minnetonka as far as developing good young players, but ever since that overtime goal, he's got a new swagger about him. He's got a little bit more confidence, and it shows in his play as well. This third period is going to be fabulous.
We'll take a timeout. We're going to hear from Larry Grace Jr., an optimal goalie, and much more. We'll face it off for you in about 15 minutes right here from Braemar Arena. Subject matter now between periods here. State high school hockey tournament action continues, section and state tournament playoffs. And we're going to talk some goaltending, near and dear to my heart, with Larry Grace Jr. from Optimal Goaltending. And he is, I think in my mind, folks, got it all figured out. So as you're driving to the XL Energy Center and listening to us, or if you're at home listening, or you know a goaltender in your family, friends, or it could be your son, daughter, or you're a board member or a coach, this is going to be a discussion, I think, that's going to be very interesting and have a lot of impact on the position, which is a little bit, it's always been a little bit of a mystery. Wouldn't you agree? Welcome aboard, Larry. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks, Pete. Yeah, it's a huge mystery for everyone.
It is a huge mystery from the perspective of what is it? How does it work? You and I kind of come from the same background, where we had the great late Warren Strelo, who was very technical. And he had changed the position and how it was played. And obviously it's hybrided into this and that and the next thing. But there's a component that I think is the same. And you brought up a story about how when you were in high school, you didn't think about what you're eating, and now you are. So what you've got is more of an off-ice setup for what you do, as opposed to just, robotronic type of goaltending coaching. Can you talk a little bit about what you do and how you got to it?
Yeah, so what I do is I focus on everything off the ice. It can be anything from performance training, which most people would know as strength and conditioning, the mental part of the game, and just daily preparation. It could be for families who are on a limited budget and said, we want to give our child every opportunity to be a better goalie. How do we do this with this amount of money? So I deal with a wide range of things off the ice, and the whole goal of the program is to give every goalie an opportunity to be the best goalie that they can be, not be the best goalie. And so it's important for me to take everything as an individual and not just as the position of goalie.
So you talked about making them stronger, helping them become stronger, maybe not necessarily in every capacity. There's certain areas that you will focus on. So can you talk about, I think you said there's 3 components for what you do.
Yep. So it can be different for everyone. It could be the same for 2 goalies. If we're talking about maybe a high school goalie, they're looking more at the performance side of things combined with learning how to be a goalie. And what I mean by that is take away the game itself, but everything you do leading up to the game and how that's going to prepare you to perform. When we're talking about a younger goalie, maybe a squirt peewee goalie, we're working on building an athlete here. We're not worried about, can they do the reverse VH? Can they do a butterfly? How well do they push? I want to create a great athlete. I feel if I create a great athlete, the goaltending coach can then build a great goalie.
Let's go into the athlete part of it as you hone in on a great athlete. I don't want to give away your secret sauce,
Yep.
But what are some of the things, areas of the body that you focus on to create that great athlete?
It's a great question, and I look at it differently. I feel that creating a great athlete is using games at the youngest levels, not anything specific for goaltending or even the sport of hockey itself. Taking a young boy, young girl, and forcing them to be an athlete. And what I mean by that is I'll give you a simple example of what I do with some of my younger kids. And we play a game that I call Goalie Volleyball. And what I've done is I've taken a court, shrunk it down with cones, and we have a center line. We don't have a net or anything like that, and we use a kid's bouncy ball. And the whole object of the game is for the team of 2 to get the ball back and forth over the line using any body part. So they can use legs, feet, hands, head. And what I'm trying to do is force them not to think like a volleyball player, not to think like a soccer player, but think like an athlete and react to what is happening to the ball itself and working with your teammate.
What type of growth have you seen in young athletes? Because it's sometimes, and I've been in coaching environments where, God-given fast twitch muscles, there's things that work for people and others that don't. And some you just say, well, I don't know if we're going to get too much out of this one here, but we'll do the best we can. God bless him, great kid. But how much can you maximize out of athletes or goaltenders from various levels of tools that they give you?
The tools that they give me, I can take and maximize them by 100. If they're committed to it and they have a passion for it, they're going to get a ton out of this. Just like anything else in life, if you put some into it, you're going to get something out of it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that every goalie that works with me is going to make it to the NHL, but I guarantee that any goalie that works with me will be a better goalie tomorrow than they were today. And that's all done by thinking of everyone as an individual and not a goalie.
What do you think goaltenders today's biggest need from an athleticism perspective is? Is it in their feet? Is it in their hips, hands? What is it?
That's a very interesting question. And I did recently just speak with a college goalie coach who had a really unique perspective on this, where he brought up, if we look at European goalies, they have great feet because they play soccer all the time over there. And if you look at American goalies or North American goalies, they've got great hands for the most part. And so when he talked about that, it really resonated with me that that's what I'm trying to do. I want complete athletes who use their hands, use their feet, use their brains, use their eyes. They're not robotic. The one thing I've heard from several goalie coaches from the NHL down to the youth level and everywhere in between is that goaltending has become too robotic. And they have a hard time with some goalies because they are so robotic, like a computer program, that they can't get out of it. And that's really the sole purpose of what I do, is developing an athlete who can then be a goalie that doesn't rely strictly on robotic movements.
Well, there's no such thing as a formula on a 3-on-2 that's changing and evolving in speed and tempo and pace and where they're going to go with it. I've watched goalies in practices, they square up and the thing's in and they're on their knees and they're looking around, they're looking at their shoulders, they're looking at their hands, and they're going, well, I did everything perfect. How did it go in? And but that's not what we're talking about here. And so it enhances the tools that the other goalie coaches are giving the players. And you talked a lot about diet too. Is that an area that you focus on?
Yeah, it's something that I speak to. It's one area that I want the goalie themselves to have the want. I can tell them everything and give them every trick in the book. I can refer them to professional dietitians who will break it down to the simplest and smallest little thing. But what I like to do is give them a platform that they can work off of and learn what they haven't been doing correctly and what they have been doing correctly, and how do we make these small changes. Because usually for kids these days, with all the information we have out there from the internet, they're on the right track. They just kind of need one piece here and one piece there. And the parents themselves are also asking questions for their own personal diet themselves. So when it becomes a family thing, it's great for everyone involved.
It's tough when it's an individualistic approach when it comes. It's got to be, everybody's got to be all in.
Yep.
I totally agree with you. So then in terms, you have a formula there. In terms of thinking like a goaltender, that really intrigued me when you brought that up in the beginning of our discussion here. I think today about how much better I would be in this day and age, having worked with these guys. You tell them everything to do what you didn't do. I mean, but it's how do you think like a goaltender, both on game day and on non-game day?
Yeah. So with the younger kids, you can kind of start that piece, but they're not ready to, take a full day and really prepare for a game. That piece really starts at the Bantam level, that 8th, 9th grade age range, where the games are competitive. Mistakes are that much smaller to make. And so it's really starting with, it's difficult for someone in school, maybe they're 7 to 3, 9 to 2, whatever it may be, to eat properly, or maybe just stay focused on what's important. And for some goalies that I've worked with, it's been as simple as, let's not think about hockey all day. Let's focus on school. And let's worry about hockey when hockey gets there once school is done. And for other goalies, it's, we need to start focusing the minute we wake up. And so that's where that individual approach comes into play. No two goalies are the same. You have a Martin Berder who has been known to talk to the media for, 50, 60 minutes after, practice, morning skate. And then you have Ed Belfour who wouldn't talk to anybody.
Yep.
And so you really have to learn and meet them as individuals. And I think that's the big piece. And, we had talked about Warren Strelo before, and I recently was talking to a scout who had talked to Warren Strelo back in the day shortly before he passed. And he asked him, you had 3 great goalies in San Jose who all went on to be number 1 goalies in the NHL. He said, how did you handle that? And Warren said, I got to know them as individuals, and I was their mentor, before I was their goalie coach. And they would come and visit me in the summer, and we'd spend a week or 2 together. And It wasn't so much about hockey as it was me learning about them and them learning about me. And when we created that bond, they all started to take off. And so, when I heard that, I thought that's exactly what I'm trying to do here, is be that mentor, be the coach, and give them the backbone to succeed. Because I think, and you probably would agree with this too, that back in our day, we did not get a whole lot of support as goalies. There was no one out there that we could talk to.
He and Jack McCartan, for me, were it.
Yep. And so I'm trying to bring that piece in. I mean, you can go and get great performance coaching from a lot of different facilities and a lot of different coaches in this state. But the difference with them and me is I was a goalie. I am a goalie. I know what it feels like, and I want to help every goalie overcome those battles, because we do face a lot of them.
So your business model doesn't know any age either, correct? You go from squirts up all the way up.
That is correct. Squirts to the pros.
And so from your to reach out to you, they can email you, correct?
Yeah, you can email me at optimalgoalie@gmail.com, or you can give me a call at 952-270-5490. And with today's technology, feel free to text me too.
Please text. That's it. And then you also, to work with youth programs is a great idea. Even if they have an existing goaltending guru or whatever, and a lot of these programs do, they can't do everything that you're suggesting here, and it's good for them to bring you in to work with them.
Yeah, so the difference between me and a goalie coach is a goalie coach focuses on the play on the ice, what to do in certain situations, how to move in and out of the net, up and down, all those great things. What I do is everything off the ice. For an association, it could be as simple as bringing me in to work with the parents to figure out, how do the parents feel? Do the parents feel like they're missing something? Is there a gap between the board and the association, and what can we do to fill that gap? High school program, it could be the same thing from that, or even setting up a year-round development program for the goalies off the ice.
That's beautiful. So we will get you absolutely exposed here during the high school hockey tournament.
Thank you.
You're a great man, making a big difference in the hockey world. Again, shoot that email and number for us.
Yeah, the email is optimalgoalie@gmail.com, and then the phone number is 952-270-5490. And again, feel free to text me as well.
Larry Grace Jr., Optimal Goalie. Once again, let's be honest, you just made the position just a little bit better.
I hope so. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
We'll be back with more coming up right after this. We welcome you back to lovely Braemar Arena, home of the Edina Hornets. We're talking with the Eden Prairie staff. Paul Ranheim and Lee Smith were here, and we were going through some scores. And, one of the things that we were looking at was that Edina-Blake game. And, Edina had 32 shots. Blake had 16. And I think what we're learning here is there's nothing automatic about anything.
No, in fact, everybody thought Edina was just going to bulldoze, but Blake's got a pretty good squad, and their goaltender came to play. That's the thing about these one-game eliminations, is all it takes is a very hot goaltender or a couple breaks here and there. But Edina very fortunate to survive that battle, so they look forward to playing a very good and young, fast Benilde St. Margaret Red Knight squad, so that promises to be a great contest as well. Taking through the scoring goes Lagerbach at the 10-20 mark unassisted. Short side goal, shots on goal that period for the game. Minnetonka at 21 and Holy Family Catholic at 17. But Holy Family, their backs are against the wall. They're only one good shot down against this Minnetonka Skipper team, but this Minnetonka Skipper team has only given up 37 goals so far to date this year, average of about 1.5, so it's not going to be easy for Holy Family, but they're just one good shot away from tying this one up.
Wow. I mean, wow.
Peter, I know I said this quite a bit, but
I don't have anything to say.
Well, the first, I don't have a lot to say, but I want to get this point out, is the first 3 to 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, is going to be very important for Holy Family. I think Minnetonka is going to come out with some energy, but Holy Family's got to answer that back. But it just looks like the fatigue factor started to set in. I think Minnetonka started to inflict their will. And as you said, Pete, Holy Family started to chase the play a little bit. I think they got fatigued, but they got a chance to regroup and refocus. They got to come out. But the first 5 minutes is going to be the initial challenge for this Fire team. Then the next 5 minutes is going to be the next challenge. And then the next 5 to 7 minutes is going to be the challenge after that. But they got to get to work in a hurry. Minnetonka looks very poised, and they're a good front-running team that plays solid defense.
It is. Hey, Bart.
Hey.
We're live on Facebook right now here from Braemar Arena. You got to look over there. There's my guy. There they are over there. Heimer, Paul Ranheim hanging out. We're on Facebook Live. Nobody's really watching. Nobody cares.
Scott Tiffany's here, too.
He's talking with Scott Tiffany. There's Matty Ice, Matt Harrington, all smiles, myself, Bart Archer, Johnny Sands down here.
Just keep working.
His arse off, as you will. And we're going to get ready to start this game, so I'm going to have to bail. Scotty Buss, we are here at Braemar Arena, home of the Edina Hornets. Max, hello. How are you? It's the Minnetonka Skippers and the Holy Family Catholic Fire. I'm going to just do it. I can't turn it around. I can't because I'll get in trouble.
Oh, gotcha.
No video.
Yeah, and you're not too shy about getting yourself into trouble, but you don't have to go looking for it. But Holy Family with their final huddle in front of the bench getting their final instructions.
Buster wants me to put the readers on.
Oh.
What's he talking about?
No, he'd rather
All
just
right.
flock shoot, Scotty. But I think the Fire are going to come out with some purpose. But it's up to the Fire to kind of reestablish themselves. Here we go.
Just did that for Jill Tiffany. Her husband Scott is on the air. And we're back underway here to start this period. Thanks for joining us here at the MNHockey.tv. Join us from far and wide for what's going to be a great third period. Winter moves on to take on what looked like the white-hot Eden Prairie Eagles, who absolutely crushed Chaska 7-3. In all but about 7 minutes of the game, it was all Eden Prairie. Lagerback brought down behind the play. In front of the net they go. It's in the Fire zone off the side of that. That period break came right about the right time for Holy Family Catholic as they're able to get a little bit of a break. Pinonimi looks up ice for his man. That's Trey Fetchko. And it's going to be sent right back in. It's going to be handled by Doctor behind the net as he's going to guide that off the boards for Lidke up the ice. Lidke now straight to the middle. He's going to try to carve his way through. He's going Ginsu, and that one's offside.
Well, it was a good challenge at the blue line, and I believe it was Cole Wilson, or at least it was Roloffs that challenged him, but it was Lagerback that snuck in just before. So faceoff's going to come outside the zone early in this third period. Not much is established, but you can tell both teams understand the situation going forward. But Holy Family looks very, very focused, and that's a good sign for Noah Rana and his coaching staff.
Right wing side, here they come out of the zone. It's Schugel with it. Lochner off the glass for the Skippers in his own zone. They're moving from left to right, are the Minnetonka Skippers. Across the line, it's Kittleson. Kittleson now bothered on the play.
Oh!
That one misses the mark.
Boy, great chance by Newhouse.
Miller's shot, that one's poked off to the right wing side. Miller again, stave made there by Huber. He's been so good tonight. Now to the right wing side, it's going to be played back in by Ben Redden, and icing the call. Scott Buss asked the question, where did Trey Fetchko play his youth hockey? He was a Pee Wee AA phenom at Chaska Chan and jumped over to Holy Family Catholic, where he played as an 8th grader last year and now as a freshman via Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Well, 15 goals, 22 assists, 37 points on the season to date. But Fetchko can snipe, and they're going to rely on him to at least get some opportunities.
Skippers now transition from center. That's off the stick of Henry. No ice on the play as Huber sets it up to the right side of the net. It's going to be Charchenko off the glass. Glove down by the stick of Ben Rinzel. Check that. That's Eric Rinzel who plays that one behind the net. Now Glockner leans into this one. Long ring to the left wing side. Henry ahead. He goes for Lacombe. Lacombe runs into a check there from a oncoming Lewin. Now Motzko cuts that one off from the right wing side. Looks for Henry down low. Spinner off the boards. Lidke tried to play it with the skate, but it's going to be gathered in by Doctor, who guides that back in behind the net. Huber sets up for Charchenko. 1-0 the score here in the third period. That in favor of the Minnetonka Skippers. Here they come back in across the line. Bayless with it. Poked off his stick. Now Spinner looks ahead. Now Pinonimi he's got Sawyer Schugel. They find the late man, Jorgensen. Schugel scores!
Oh.
Tied at 1. Schugel with the celly. Self-check into the wall in front of the Skipper fans. And we got a ball game for you, folks.
Well, you can just see that coming through the Nuga zone. It was Holy Family coming 3-on-2, and they worked the puck to the open area, and it was Schugel, as you said, that finished that off. That's his 7th goal of the season, but not a bigger one he has scored in his career, I'm sure. We're not at a 14:05. He just walked it around, and it was Glockner that was vulnerable on that one, but big goal for this Holy Family Fire. We're not at a 14:05, as I said, left in regulation time. It's a whole new ball game.
Pinonimi leans in to take the draw against Lagerback, who gets it. Now it's going to be Lidke with it. In front across the line now. Wrist shot by Doctor looking to respond as his club's tied at 1. Schugel stars on the soccer edition as well, multi-sport athlete here for the Fire. Of course, mentioned Eric Rinzel with the baseball opportunities at the next level. He'll be playing somewhere, spinning it. Now back in behind the net, Spinner. Plays this one off the boards, but not so far. It's down goes Bayless. Oh, Huber! Lagerback wanted to go Finn to the 5-hole, couldn't get it. The big save made there.
That's what good teams do, is they come back and respond, and it was Lagerback and Bayless. That magical combination got the puck out front, in tight on Huber. Huber made himself big, made that save, but a nice pushback in response by Minnetonka, but Holy Family keeps the puck out of the net.
There's a chance inside. Lee Smith just yelled over Wags. He doesn't miss that one very often.
He's right.
Behind the net it goes. Now the Skippers look to break up the left wing side. And they'll pin up along the wall. Tell a friend, send the link, share it. Easy to do on the phone. Be sure to follow us all playoff round. We'll be hanging out at Mariucci, 3M at Mariucci, Bart Archer's office. Wrist shot, stick save, Huber. Back in behind the net it goes. Every chance now you can cut it with a knife. The squeals and screams from the crowd, the whole bit. Litke across the line, offside.
Boy, even with Kittleson speed, he couldn't clear the zone, but really a big save by Huber. He kicked that left pad out and kept what was a trying situation out of the goal. So Huber doing his teammates a favor when they become vulnerable. Good goalies can pick up their team in vulnerable times, and that's exactly what he did to keep the score at 1. But offsides, Minnetonka faceoff just outside the Holy Family Fire zone. Fire win the faceoff.
Sent right back in behind the net. Doctor is there as he tries to play ahead to Motzko. Litke, Doctor out of the left corner, his familiar spot as it's the Skippers across the line. Clapper, oh my word, an absolute laser from Motzko. Nearly went through the glass as he missed the mark. Lacombe,
not by much.
No, he nearly took the water bottle and sent it up to the banners that adorn West Arena here at Braemar. Off the glass by Blood. Trickles that one into Skipper territory with 11:52 to go in the third. We'll bring it back down for the faceoff.
Well, I was talking earlier in the year when we were covering Minnetonka. They were blowing through everybody, and they felt a couple games where they were actually stressed out and put in kind of an adverse situation. And I thought that benefited Minnetonka to go through those tough situations. That you can learn from those, and this is where they're going to pull the experience out of those adverse situations and maybe have some success. But Holy Family Fire really has played solid this third period. Their positioning is solid. They're putting pressure on Minnetonka backliners, making it difficult for them to get out of their zone.
Doctor guides it to the left wing side. Litke on the move now. It's going to be Bayless across the line. Bayless turns away from traffic. Gives that up for Doctor. Nice little move. Lagerback, shallow angle. Huber gets the arm on that one. He's unconscious. Up off the ceiling. In the old days at Braemar Arena, that would have been lodged.
Yeah, we would have been in some peril, but nice job by Litke to actually meet that puck and put a big shot on that, because it was Sawyer Schugel that was coming out to challenge him, and he might have lost that race, but he did a nice job of actually moving that puck up and out of play. They'll take that, get the face-off in the offensive zone for Minnetonka.
Face-off win by the Skippers. Zitzloff, top of the right circle, shot that deflects off Streeter, up and out of play. Oh, there goes Huber saying that went clean off Streeter. I would agree with that.
I would too, but the referee's pretty definitive about that. But it was a nice shot by Bayless trying to go under the bar, but it was, as you said, it was Streeter that deflected that one up. But faceoff is going to be to Huber's left. 11:17 left in regulation.
Should be all listening in on this one. This is something else going on here at Braemar Arena. The guts and character of the Holy Family Catholic Fire is showing here. Amazing. Like to the ice it goes, and icing the call.
Well, Peter, I think that gave them not only some energy but some confidence, and they just seemed to have calmed down a little bit. They finally got rewarded for all their hard work. They beat a good quality goaltender, Charlie Glockner, but since then there's been several defensive zone faceoffs for the Fire in Minnetonka. I mean, they're very, very good in the dots, and they're getting their opportunities in the looks and really getting some opportunities to get some pressure on Bailey Huber, the senior goaltender for the Fire. Faceoff very important.
Lewin draws in against Kittleson. Puck trickles, poked out of there by Huber. To the right wing side it goes. Stepping. Oh, a big check on Hendrickson thrown there by Dan Redden. Back in front of the bench area it goes. And now it's going to be off the boards for Charchenko. And it's going to be Doctor to play it around to the left wing side. Nice job by Hendrickson through the wickets to the oncoming Newhouse. Shallow angle, wanted the short side. Blocker pad save. Litke loses an edge. But there's Doctor, his partner, to take over. 10:25 to go in the third. Up the middle he goes. Kittleson, no room. Charchenko's going to let his man take over. Ben Redden, ooh, gets away from one man. How you doing? There's a shot into the midsection by Glockner. The whole place thought he was going to get pickpocketed, and it was like, whoa.
Well, again, it was a good effort by Griffin Streeter for Minnetonka. Shallow angle shot, but it was a nice job by Huber to keep that puck out of the net. And then it was Holy Family Fire that came down, got a pretty good shot on Glockner from high in the right circle. But Glockner received that one face off to his left. Now 10:14 left in regulation time. We're not at a 1.
If you're just joining us here tonight and wondering where the video is, Section 2AA and 6AA do not allow for video feeds in their section playoffs. We're going audio only. We'll be at Mariucci Arena for that action for the finals for you. Only place doing this game here tonight is us. Tell a friend. They want to get an accounting of this game. Hopefully we can take you back to your youth for your older school folks who used to work the transistor.
I would have been in that category as well. But thanks everybody for joining us all day long. A lot of great hockey. Elimination Saturday, and some teams are happy, some teams are not. But we're going to find out in this one. But we're not at a 1. Just under 10 minutes to go in regulation.
9:52 exact. Back in behind Kiffin. Rings for Henry. Can't get a handle on that one as it's on a roll-off stick. Who's going to send that back into the skipper zone? Miller. They're without Kroll on the back line. Zitzloff taking his spot. Kiffin trading off with him as well.
Nice to have depth.
They got a great group of defensemen here. It's plug and play. But really, since Hockey Day Minnesota, the Skippers have not really had a full lineup, whether it be illnesses and the other things that went on there.
Well, again, that's dealing with adversity. Every team goes through some semblance of adversity through the course of the season. I think Minnetonka navigated their way pretty well through it, and hence that's why they're in this situation right now. But Holy Family Fire, I think the surprise to a lot of people, but Holy Family fans are at the edge of their seats. They know the situation going on right now, but the next goal is obviously going to be paramount. But it's Minnetonka that's getting the better looks right now.
Lager back, left wing side. Bayless loads it up. That one deflects, misses the mark. Here they come. Litke crashes down back in behind the net. Spun. Oh, my word. He was rocked. Oh, he's banged up and not moving. Totally clean hit, but he was muscled hard into the wall. Nothing wrong with that. Now Lagerback wants a piece of Jorgensen. Was that Spinner or Jorgensen that hit him? Oh, man,
no, it was Spinner.
Rocked.
It was Spinner, and it was a good legal check.
NHL big league hit. Right now, the Fire bench is saying just everybody get over here as Lagerback is trying to take Spinner with him.
Well, you see you're made down, and you want to kind of at least stand up for him, but Lutke's up now. I just think he banged his lower back against the boards, but he's being helped off by his teammates. I don't know if that's the most responsible situation right there.
I think the trainer should be there.
Absolutely. That's, I guess, my point. But, not having Josh Litke moving forward, not having Kroll moving forward.
No weight on his left leg right now.
Well, hopefully it's just a bit of a shock or a bruise or something where he can come back. But 9 minutes to go, so time is of the essence. But losing a big Mr. Hockey candidate doesn't bode very well for this Minnetonka Skipper team. But it was a good legal check. It was just hard along the wall. But Lagerbach took a little exception to it. But, again, they just have to get refocused.
So when he took it, imagine from the left side, the glove hand side of right-handed goalie, he's behind the net. He had great speed, and he was trying to turn the corner to get it to feed to the slot area, and he just got spun hard, and he hit the wall awkwardly, totally squared up. Nothing illegal about that. No run, nothing like that. Kiffin shot that one, nearly hit Streeter and found its way to the back of the net. Streeter now, it's going to be Lagerback. Streeter watched on the play by Redden. Lagerback, up high it goes to the line now. It's going to be Doctor. He has some room. Now it closes. He goes high over the glass. Kiffin taking the spot of Litke, who's been injured. We'll keep our eye on him, see if he gets back out. Went off gingerly. Now it's going to be Doctor Looks like a power play, and it's 5-on-5. The Fire will play this one to the left wing side. Bayless out-muscles Jorgensen to the right wing side. Kiffin the 1T right off the wall into the midsection of Huber, and will face off to his left with 8:08 to go.
Well, if there's one thing that watching Ludke get off the ice, it kind of made Minnetonka focus pretty hard. They were very focused on that shift and really turned the play back up toward the goaltender, but the Holy Family did a nice job of maintaining their position, not giving any good looks. 8:08 left in regulation time.
Puck will be played back up into the neutral zone by Miller. Now they're without Lidke and Krull. The defense has been such a key component on this team. Back through center ice, Miller regroups behind. He's got Zitzloff with him behind the net. They're going to settle up into a 1-2-2 on the, maybe a modified 2-2-1 trap. Now it's going to be Kittleson. They break it across the line. He's defensed neatly, though, there by Roloff, as they're going to be behind the net. Newhouse off the side of the goal. That one misses the mark. Karam to the left wing. Back into center, it goes off Hendrickson's stick as it's going to be picked up by Miller. Angles himself across the line. Here's Miller, loses the handle. Newhouse tries to load it up. Oh, he forgot something. Pickpocketed there by Blood. Now Newhouse tried to dangle. Kittleson, Hendrickson to the net. He nearly had the deflection there, but that one went awry off to the side of the cage. In front of the bench area in the neutral zone it goes. 7:06 to go, and a whistle on the play. This thing's getting competitive.
Well,
and we'll face off in the neutral zone.
Yeah, it's even more intense than it was at the beginning of the period, so emotions are starting to amp up, and we've echoed it before, is you have to govern your emotions. You don't want to get too carried away. You want to play with emotions, but just don't let it spill too far over. But Minnetonka just coming in waves, but again, the Holy Family being very responsible defensively and limiting what could be good opportunities and making them just modest ones, or at least opportunities that Bailey Huber in goal can handle.
Redden with it now, plays this one rink wide. Sawyer Schugel is there. Back up to the line, Snapper misses the mark off the glass. Big Karam at the line, held in by the Fire as they work the offensive zone. Ooh, nice job to the right wing, and a blocker pad save. Oh, that one turned aside by Glockner. Now back up through center ice. Ganas is there watching his man. Now it's going to be Motzko. Loses the handle, is sliding over to make the play was Dan Redden. Now it's going to be Lacombe, handles that one back up to the line. Kiffin back over for Doctor. Still haven't seen Lidke since the injury. Sticks are flying, bodies flying everywhere in front of the net area. In the Fire zone it is. Up to the line, picked off by Sawyer Schugel, who has the game-tying goal for the Fire as they play this one in. 6:11 to go. Do we have overtime in the offing? I don't know. Stay tuned. Oh, down they go. Oh, penalty on the play. Looking up incensed is Ben Redden. Both the hands went up in the air, but he kept the feet moving. Give the young man credit.
Oh, coaches for Holy Family aren't happy, and deservedly so.
Right back into the zone it goes. Back out of the corner. Roloffs is there. Skippers and the Fire tied at 1 here in the third. Back up through the neutral zone across the line. They have it with Wilson. Wrister, and a blocker pad save right into the midsection there by Glockner.
Well, Kiffin played Wilson actually pretty well, forced him to the outside, shallowed his angle a little bit, made it manageable for Charlie Glockner. He came out just outside the blue, so Charlie Glockner hasn't seen a lot of action, but he made a big save when they needed to. Just 5:40 left in regulation time. Now Holy Family with an offensive zone face-off to Glockner's right. Face-offs everything's going to be accentuated right now, and I think the coaching staff of Holy Family Fire still wants to speak with the referees. They gave them some time, but that time is over. Now it's back to hockey. Boy, they're not happy about that one at all.
5:35 to go in the third. I mean, right when you think you've seen it all, you've seen nothing. Bayless at center. Gets away from one man, but there's help over from left to right.
Now they're even.
Now they're even, absolutely. They're going to leave a drop pass there, back up into the neutral zone. Spinner with it. Still haven't seen Lidke after he got banged up by that Spinner hit behind the net, and folks, it was completely clean. Perfect hockey check there. Spinner lifts the stick, no ice on the play because of that, and now it's going to be picked up by Dan Redden with 4:54 to go. Reaching back to make the play is Ben Redden. Interestingly enough, the longer this game is tied 1-1 late in the game, the more the pressure on the white and blue.
Absolutely, no question about it. And you can see, by the way, they're whiffing on some of their, they're picking their head up a little bit quicker than they want to.
Oh, Kittleson. Oh, bullet right into the midsection of Huber as he went down into the butterfly and took it right off the lower stomach area there, the solar plexus.
It was a bullet, and he received that one, but there was plenty of support down low for Minnetonka. So a really nice play by the Holy Family Fire goaltender. Otherwise, there would have been a quality second chance opportunity. Not many rebounds coming out of Bailey Huber, at least in this third period, but Minnetonka pressing. They're getting their shots, but the Holy Family goaltenders answered the bell.
Face-off peeled out of the circle from the left side of Huber by Redden as he plays that up to the right wing side. Dan Redden took that from Ben. Now across the line, Wilson's wrist shot. Ooh, Kiffin got a stick on that one. Glockner had to be good. Turned it off to the right wing side. Now it's going to be Kittleson out of his own zone for Minnetonka. Here's Kittleson, runs into a player there. It's back up into the neutral zone from center. It's Ben Redden to try to play that one in deep. That's stopped by the Skippers as they'll look to the left, right wing side, rather off Newhouse stick. Now Mason Hendrickson. Spinner is there, tried to keep it alive. Nice job by Newhouse, good strike. Oh, they just missed the mark there. Kittleson was ready to lift the stick. Back behind the net now, it's going to be Hendrickson. Turns away from the right corner, slot, one time, post! Oh, it was clean off the metal. It doesn't get any more crisp than that. We play on with 3:42 to go.
That was Newhouse.
Here comes the Skippers. Zitzlaff shot up and out of play. I need oxygen.
Well, it's a good shot by Newhouse. He's got 13 tallies, making a bid for the 14th. That one kissed off the post, and that hit it square as well. So Holy Family Fire dodges a bullet. 3:37 left in regulation time. Now faceoffs are going to be paramount for Holy Family as they take another one in their own zone. It's going to be Lacomi against Pinonimi. Big win by the Fire.
Puck ripped around the wall as it's going to be handled now out of the zone. On the stick, here's Schugel. Does he have another one in him? Off the side of the mark it goes. The Fire in the offensive zone. They had Charchenko up at the line. They go back door, right wing side shot. Glove hand side misses the mark. That attempt taken by Dan Redden. Back in behind the net it goes. It's going to be Kiffin from the corner. Kiffin shovels it, goes with the shovel. Oh, Pinonimi. Oh, and a blocker pad saved a good one there. Oh, that was a hot potato bullet coming in at Blackner. Here they come now with Motzko across the line. The Skippers left wing side. One-timer. Another post! Doctor, 2-on-1 back the other way. Here come the Fire. They find their man. Pinonimi. Doctor came out of nowhere. He was deep in the offensive zone, came back and cut that thing off. Oh my word. Now it's going to be Streeter jammed on the play by Spinner. No call. Perfectly fine. Now it's back up with Wilson. Bayless watching him. Zitzlaff is there. Back to the line, held in by the Fire. No, offside with 2:28, and a big hit there by Kittleson. Nothing doing.
Well, actually, it was Lagerbach that put the hit on. He plays with emotion, and I think it was a continuation because it was just after the whistle, but Holy Family taking exception to it. But another post by the Minnetonka Skippers. This one on the other side, on the glove side. But, Holy Family can look at this as an opportunity because it could be 3-1 right now with 2:28 to go. Looks like we're going to have a timeout. Really a good time for a timeout. Get everybody settled. One last push. Rest everybody. But two posts in the last minute for Minnetonka. So they can either look at that as a positive or a negative. But it'll be interesting to see how they come out of this timeout. But it's going to be exciting 2:28. I'll promise you that.
Tonight's coverage presented by Optimal Goalie. Give Larry Grace an email. Check him out. That's optimalgoalie@gmail.com. He takes you off ice and gets it done. You become the complete goalie with him. Also presented by Brew Pub. Lots of matzah. Said it before, say it again. Half pound of mozzarella cheese. Award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese to you. How could you miss that? Don't forget about the Sportsman's Guide. They've got the Beyond the Pond event coming up on the state tournament weekend. The whole show will be from there. Moon Annie, lots of things being given away. It's an awesome deal there. Also by RJM Construction, Arena Construction, The Rock at St. Louis Park, Trier Rink down in St. Paul, the two Crown Jewels, the Hopkins Pab. They took an absolute dump and turned it into something special. And then don't forget about Tradition Companies. That's traditionco.com.
Well, it sounds like you got your oxygen, Pete.
Oh.
But really, really nice job of translating the emotion and the intensity in Braemar Arena as it stands right now. We're semifinal section play 2:28 to go in a tie game against the number 2 Minnetonka Skippers and the Holy Family Fire. Holy Family has gone blow for blow with the bully on the playground. In Minnetonka, starting to kind of understand the situation. They're getting their opportunities, but they're a little shorthanded on the defensive side as we still haven't seen Lidke come back. Next man up for the Tonka Skippers.
Absolutely. Krull out of the lineup, Lidke out of the lineup. Lots of adversity. Makes for a great Dream State storyline, no doubt. And if you're the fans of that and the producers of the show, holy smokes, got to at least get to Mariucci here. And the Fire saying maybe not so fast. Back of the neutral zone, Streeter is there. Sawyer Schugel wanted to go dangle fest. Oh, spinner, nifty move in the neutral. His shot was blocked, 1:58 to go. Now it's going to be Lager back across the line. Behind the back, ooh, in the no man's land, spinner comes away with it. Schugel with it. Sawyer Schugel's been terrific tonight. Across the line, he tried to set up for a shot there as he runs into traffic. Spinner at the line, keeps. Now Pinonimi has a puck roll up on him. It's going to be Dan Redden to play it rink wide. Kiffin comes away with it. Fetchko bothers him. Back into the neutral zone. Streeter waits for it with 1:31 to go in the period. Huber plays this around to the left wing side. It's going to be gathered in. Ooh, he had to kind of catch up to it. Did Ben Redden, gets it to the center red and tries to play this one down the rail. Zitzloff comes away with it, plays this one rink wide. The Skippers now play it up the line. Now it's Hendrickson. Mason Hendrickson's been good here tonight. Back into the corner. He's checked on the play. Now it's Newhouse, tries to force that through. Hilber throws his stick and goes hashing. He just kind of grabs it with both mitts.
Well, Minnetonka very aggressive getting after the puck. They had 3 forwards beyond the goal line. But it was Newhouse that actually gathered that puck right behind the net, tried to bring it out short side and stuff it in. But nice job by Huber to not only make that save, but to cover the puck. A vulnerable moment again for the Fire that they survived, just 1 minute and 6 seconds. And both teams understand the situation at hand. Holy Family playing very responsible, but Minnetonka, you can just see that they just, I hope they don't get frustrated, but they're getting offensive zone time anyway.
Hello to Chris Long, who's listening on. It is bonkers in here, buddy. You wouldn't believe it. Back behind the top of the circles it goes, off the sticks of Charchenko for the Fire as he plays that one in behind. Blockner sets up for the Skippers, rings the boards. That's off a stick. Charchenko from the right point. Oh, that one hits traffic on its way through. Now it's going to be Minnetonka in transition. Charchenko reaches back with the right hand, plays it off the left wing wall, but the Skippers intercept. Slot Motzko. Oh, he just missed the mark there. That missed by about a foot. Not even. There's a shot that sounds like a lot, but it wasn't. Now it's Motzko. Henry, his pass is deflected away by Schugel. 23 to go in the period. Henry to the corner. Oh, he just absolutely savages his man. Clean hit there. Pinonimi looks up at him, says, "Is that all you got there, buddy?"
Still very aggressive physical play by Minnetonka down low. I think sometimes they try to force that puck to Doctor. Sometimes it's better to just put it out in front and hope for some support to come. Almost picked off in Holy Family the other way, but just 16.9 seconds left. So obviously both teams are going to put 2 good face-off forwards into the mix out on the ice, but very, very important face-off for Holy Family, but important one for Minnetonka. Possession is key.
Face-off win, Skippers. Doctor's got a laser. Oh, that one was deflected wide. That one off Streeter. 9 seconds to go. Around the wall it goes. We're going to take this to overtime, folks. We're 1 bounce away from one of these teams having their season end.
Oh,
my
boy.
word, for the second straight year, these 2 teams are going to OT. It's so fitting. You couldn't ask for anything more, Bart. You got to cover for me while I work the cargo.
Well, just to kind of take you back, we're going to give you a quick history lesson, but last year was a section final. It was 4-3 Holy Family holding on for dear life in the last minute, but it was Teddy Lagerbach that actually tickled the twine to knot that game up, and then they played 11 minutes and 30 seconds of up and down hockey, but it was at the 11:33 mark that Josh Lidke finished that game. Lidke doesn't appear to be available for this Minnetonka Skipper team, but we're 1 good shot away from one team moving on for their dream to get to the state title, and Holy Family has a legitimate shot, but the offensive zone time certainly favors Minnetonka, but all it takes is one little misplay back in transition and a shot on goal, so anything can happen, but it's going to be in about 2.5 minutes. It's going to be very exciting from this point forward. A lot of tension obviously at Braemar Arena right now on both sides, but Minnetonka in an unusual position. They haven't been in a position where they've really had to do this too often, but now they're going to test their character character a little bit. I expect them to come out swinging.
Well, I do too. You know, it's interesting when we talked about the health of the skippers. They haven't been fully healthy with the full lineup. If you date this thing all the way back to Hockey Day in Minnesota, maybe even before, as they've had the flu bug and all kinds of things kind of rabid. I mean, everybody deals with it.
Right.
But they've never had their roster the way they wanted since then, and it's been, you know, every game's been tough for them. It's been a battle, and, you know, coming into this, now you got a guy like Lidke who's shelved. I don't see him. Do you see him on the bench?
No, I don't, and I've been looking for him as well, but, you know, it gets down to the coaches have a plan. They have their line combinations, the defensive pairings, and what it does is it sends a ripple, so you can't really get the continuity. People are playing out of their roles. But again, Minnetonka is just fortunate to have the depth, the defense to be able to cover it. So a lot of young kids are getting some valuable experience. But I just hope, I guess, that it's just a good, solid goal, not one of those dirty ones. But if you get a chance that you get a look at the goal, you put it on net regardless. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be effective. But one team is one good, effective shot away from moving on to the finals.
I'm looking over at Lee Smith and Paul Ranheim. They're sitting right next to us here at the press box here at Braemar Arena. Neil Sheehy is checked in with them right now, and these guys look nervous.
Well,
I mean, they don't have a care in the world right now.
No.
But, I mean, the fact that they just absolutely buried Chaska 7-3 today, I mean, that was something else.
And that's a good Chaska squad, too, so that just shows how well Eden Prairie played. But Neil Sheehy, boy, was he kind of a tough player in his day. Holy moly.
Kinda.
Well.
But he was number 0. What was up with that?
I don't have an answer for that one.
Did you like him better in the Calgary uniform or the Hartford uniform?
I kind of like. I think he played for Washington too, did he not?
Maybe as a cap
I
too.
think I liked him more. I think I liked him more in the red, white, and blue.
Go to the fraudometer. Are the Lakeville South Cougars on board? Did I see Chad Kruger like that? I think the Cougars are on board on Twitter.
Well, congratulations to them.
There was never doubt. If you go back to our Hawkdish podcast on the mnhockey.tv, yours truly suggested that it was going to be the Cougars out of the 4th seed that will represent the 1AA. I could be right.
They got some work to do, but you are correct.
What a surprise. Just kidding.
Wow.
When you're wrong, you never admit it. When you're right, you oversell it.
Well, they do switch sides. We got 8 minutes on the board. It's going to be Lagerbach against Pinonimi on the faceoff. Possession is going to be key in this overtime. Play smart.
So they're going to switch ends, as Bart mentioned there. Fire are moving from left to right across your dial or screen, however you're looking at this thing. Bayless takes the carom up the wall from Glockner across the line. Next goal wins. We got 8 minutes of overtime. If we don't solve it here, we go to a 15-minute break and we do ice and go into double overtime. Schugel was there. Now it's Kiffin. Pinonimi is there. Up to center ice it goes. Nice job by the linesman to duck under that thing. And
I think he got him, though.
Play. Oh, do you?
A little bit.
Now it's going to be Bayless has to wait for his mates to step on side. He goes across the left wing side. Streeter loses an edge and goes down. Gets it back. Plays that back in behind. Spinner's been a warrior. Has it behind the net for the Fire. Loses it to another warrior and Teddy Lagerbach. Lagerbach pickpocketed there back in behind the net. Nice job by the Fire. And they transition through center. It's Doctor and Miller back. Oh, they got a man in front. Scores! The Fire and the season, the Dream State is over! I can't believe it! The Holy Family Catholic Fire advanced to the Section 2AA Finals with a 2-1 win.
Well, the goal scorer was Ben Redden with his 5th goal of the season, but not a bigger goal being scored. He came in all alone. Nice chip pass. It was Holy Family that came down 3-on-2. The defense for Minnetonka committed just a nice little sauce pass. A really classy situation where the Holy Family goalie came over to console Charlie Glockner, but he's down. Charlie Glockner gave his team every chance to win this game, but Holy Family showed the resilience and took advantage of the opportunity when it presented itself. If you're Minnetonka, hold your head high. Obviously, it didn't go the way that you planned, but you had an outstanding season. You're defending champions. We're going to have a new champion this year, but Minnetonka, hold your head high. Very entertaining season. But Holy Family, how about that? They get a chance to beat Eden Prairie.
Bart, the Minnetonka skippers are laying around Charlie Glockner. They've got a number of seniors and upperclassmen on this team. This team has been really absolutely a team that
had been marked to possibly defend back-to-back. One of the things that Sean Goldsworthy and I talked about on Goldie's podcast was really all about win, lose, or draw in the playoffs. It doesn't matter. What matters most is he's accomplished with these kids what he wanted to accomplish. They love each other. They're a group. You and I covered them all season long.
It was a privilege.
No question it was. They approached the game the right way. No doubt about it.
Well, this is happening a little earlier than I think most people anticipated, but I'd like to give a shout out to the seniors on this Minnetonka Skipper team. Charlie Glockner, goaltender. Grant Doctor, defenseman. Josh Liedke, defenseman. Mason Hendrickson, forward. Patrick Wires, forward. Will Krull, defenseman. AJ Kittleson, forward. Jack Bayless, forward. And Josh Brown, goaltender. You served your communities well. Hold your head high. But Minnetonka, obviously, the disappointment is going to wear off after a couple days, but don't hang your heads down. You provided a wealth of entertainment for us, for the community, and for Minnesota in the world of high school hockey. Tap on the shins the Holy Family Fire. Now they get a chance to square off against a very motivated and focused Eden Prairie team. That promises to be a good one. But, boy, I think the state of Minnesota is shocked right now.
Everybody's shocked, yours truly. But, you know, the longer this game was tied at 0-1, you know, Charlie Glockner's going through the line. The kid, these guys are just the picture of class here. Both of these teams, I mean, they're just taking their time in the handshake line. It's really impressive here, these coaching staff. By the way, I've never seen Noel Ron show that kind of emotion. He, was full-fledged sprint across. I've never seen him.
He beat a lot of his players to
what the hell is going on here? Noel's running.
Well, he's a pretty quick skater. I didn't know he could run that fast.
The former Hornet. Remember, we used to call his game.
We called him Audubon because there's no speed limit.
I'm going to give him some serious heat about that when I interview him. I got to.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
Wow, where do we start? Superlatives. Bart, great call. We've got
you as
final
well, P.
action,
Wagner.
Eden Prairie and Holy Family Catholic from Mariucci Arena coming up on Wednesday night. That game will be coming down the pipe at 6 p.m. God willing, if I can work out our logistics with the Section 6AA, it will be the Edina Hornets and the Benilde St. Margaret's in what's going to be an absolute dandy.
Well, if you're Charlie Glockner, hang your head high. You're one of the best goaltenders in the state of Minnesota. He's really done great for his team. He's one of the finest goaltenders, makes some big saves, just couldn't come up with that one. But he was put out on an island, but Holy Family Fire moves on.
For Bart Archer, for Matt Harrington, John Sands, I'm Pete Wagner. The final score, Holy Family Catholic 2, Minnetonka 1. Good night, everybody.